have to go back inside. There's a room back there you can go into and see how they operate it back there. But if you didn't know, they have a departure board. And they have a few jokes. For example, Mothra from Japanese monster movies flies in now and then, the Millennium Falcon. Okay, here's a takeoff. My friend Heinz, when we would come here together, he would spend most of the time just watching the planes. He so loved the airport. He didn't care to watch the rest, go around the rest of the layout, because he'd seen it a couple of times and that was enough. Like I said, we're still in the old section.
This channel is a not-so-proud member of YouTube's all-encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. Check any railway show, check any railway club, check any layout, check your own house. You'll find one of us somewhere. Warning, the content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16. The topic, language, themes, attitude, and personality of the presenter is not appropriate for anyone, much less children under the age of 16. Topics discussed will not center on trains and will focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between characters, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence. Any rebroadcast or transmission of the stream without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember the 3 rules for model train layouts and pretty much anything. It's your layout, do what you want as you want. Do not tell someone else what to do unless they ask you directly what they should do. Do not call out, mock, criticize, or insult another channel on your channel or anyone else's channel. Thank you for your cooperation.
And see it, you'll love it, and it's all done in the best possible way.
Hey everybody on the other side of the monitor, welcome all Knights of the rhomboid table. Hope you're all doing well on that side of the screen. Been a quiet week. The last couple of weeks I've gotten a lot of stuff in. I actually have another order coming in, but it won't be here till Monday, so look for a video next week, another first impressions video. Otherwise, I have been working in my yard trying to repair all the damage that doing the driveway and having my garage redone created, because they got their money and left a ton of garbage that they said they would pick up, and they never have come back, despite a couple of calls asking, are you going to get this? They also took about 3 of my extension cords and at least one of my tall levels, my long carpenter levels. A little aggravated with that as I'm going through my stuff. But anyhow, let's go into the greetings, and then we'll talk more about some of the things I have in my head before I start running trains. Let's see. We got James Galton from Dundas Junction Model Railroad. Nice to have you here. Andy, the hot dog pilot. Joseph Agliato, our sergeant at arms. Leslie Gilpin Railways, welcome in. Dino from Model Railway Shed is here. And we have Simon from SJ Trains, all the way from his part of the world. And we have Rayron just came in, and Train Man is here, and all his cool little shorts he's been putting up. So nice to have you all here. 2 weeks ago, this place was manic. I just had a ton of people here. Last week it was a little calmer, a little more like a normal live stream, but still. So I figure for whatever reason today is going to be quieter. Hey, 156 Andrew is here. Nice to have you here, my friend. And really, so we have just a small list of people, so I will go to the chat so I can keep up with it. As you know, last week I presented both in video and on the live stream the Märklin A3 Flying Scotsman. And to say those videos were successful would be an understatement. The short is the second most watched short I've ever put up. It's already 32, almost 3,300 views, I believe. And the video, my first impressions video, is the first video I put up, other than a rant I put up last year, to go over 2,000 views in a while. And I think it's closing in, it either broke 2,500 and is on the way to 2,600 views, or it's about to break 2,500. I think it's about to break 2,500 views. And the response has overwhelmingly been positive, but being the type of person I am, I'm caught up on the negatives. I had to delete like 3 people's comments, and then I replied very politely to some other less than savory. And it's okay to not like it, but wow, the anger some people reacted to a model train. You know, one guy's like, it's typical fucking believable that the Germans would get it completely wrong. They didn't even come over and look at it. They must have just looked at a 100-year-old photograph and tried to guess, you know, and blah, blah. And it's like, no, Märklin actually did send a team over and measure it and do everything. You know, the number one complaint was the smokestack. Now, I am not a Märklin engineer. I don't work for Märklin. I can't explain why it's off. My theory, which several people agree with, is that it was to house their one of their basic smoker units, that they had to increase it a little bit. And I look at the pictures, like my friend Christopher from Christopher's Hobby Vlog was just at the museum and took pictures of it the day before the live stream. So I'm looking at the pictures. I'm looking at the smokestack after, you know, the video went up and some people were complaining. I'm like, okay, yes, proportionally it's a little off, but I didn't think it was that off. I think the best and fairest argument is the color. The color is not right. Märklin went with a dull finish, and of course the Flying Dutchman has a very shiny finish. And so I accept any criticism because I didn't make it. And I wanted it to be very accurate. In the end, I like the model. I'm happy with it. So I don't care if everybody else in the world hates it or not. But for Märklin's sake and for my own selfish sake, which is that I would like to see more UK stuff released by the German and Austrian companies in HO. And this to me was testing the waters. And if they get a lot of negative feedback or it's a piece of crap model, they're not going to make more. Hey, hello, Stormy Sky Productions. Rail Productions, I should say. Ifo Van San is back in. He was here earlier. Then Kiwi Dave is here. Hello to rail fans, and you are not knighted. We need to change that. So add as moderator. Standard moderator. I now declare you a knight of the rhomboid table. All right, to rail fans, you can now post a link to your channel, and many of our people here will subscribe to you or at least check out your channel. If I didn't say hello, I think I did, but Kiwi Dave is here from down under New Zealand. Nice to have you here. Aren't you getting married today or tomorrow? Did you get married today or is it tomorrow? So Ifo says Märklin has never done glossy. I find that interesting. I wonder why they would not do that. Today, your time. So you are getting married today because it is, of course, Saturday where you are. It's, what are you, 14 hours ahead? So it's early in the morning for you, I believe. Or late in the evening. I forget how it goes. So you're getting married. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, our buddy Kiwi Dave is joining the realm of the not tires. So we wish you luck. Hope it's a great wedding and hope you have a great time on the honeymoon. And Dundas says he's working on his layup. So anyhow, I would like the model. And it's already sold well, but I was hoping it would be critically well received to encourage Märklin to say, well, maybe we'll do the Mallard now, or maybe we'll do something else, or at least to come up with some cars. And next week, I'm going to have an amazing show and tell because I've got a lot of stuff coming in next week. Hey, Chris, how are you? Oh, they did it in the Glanzbleich Blau. Okay. Yeah, because now that I think of it, there really aren't any shiny, I certainly don't have any shiny Märklin models. So, you know, that was the big deal. But the anger at which some people responded always gets me. And they're yelling at me, you know, all caps. And I'm like, I didn't build it. All I did was buy it. Okay? That's all I did. All I did was buy it. Because I want some British stock after my travels in the UK. And yes, I've got the stuff I put on the floor, but I would like to have some UK stock I can run on my 3-rail system. And I know people immediately say, well, why don't you put a 2-rail DC loop on your track? Because I don't want to. Because that would then limit the trains I could run on there as well. But be that as it may, Robert's here. Did Robert post another video today? Eric Gunter just came in, and Delft Junction is here. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome all in, fellow Knights of the Rhomboid Table. So anyhow, I mean, I like it. I ran it. I kept running it this week when Cayenne was over, and we enjoyed it. It's a great looking locomotive. It looked nice with my cars, but I have purchased some cars that are Lima HO scale that do go with it. So we'll talk more about that next week when they come in, and I'll probably be running it again. But like I said, it was just amazing. Some of the, and I get it too. You know, I wasn't even rude to the people that were really getting bent out of shape. Because I get it. I don't respond that way to certain things, but I do respond that way. Anybody who ever sits with me in public and talks about the Lord of the Ring movies, yeah, you'll see me going nuts and foaming at the mouth and going off. You know, idiots, how could they get that all wrong? How could they screw it up? It's in the damn book. Why can't they, you know. And the worst he could say to me is, in a conversation is, I thought the movies were just like the books. And then I'd just be like, if I had a gun. And then I haven't even watched those, that idiotic, I saw the previews and I read what the plot line was. And it's like, no, guys, even that stuff is written in books. And, you know, they're just making it up. We're just making it up. Well, Joseph, remind me in 2 years. Well, a year and a half. Because I won't be in Aachen until 2 years. Because, Australia this year. And then we're going back to England the following year. Although I may flip that around. Since we're going to go to Getz next year, I may do Germany and then England again. But I really want to get back to England, and there are some things we'd still like to do, and there are definitely people we want to see in England again, and other people we want to meet for the first time. And in some cases, we feel like we're in a bit of a hurry. But yeah, I had so many great shops I saw. And in my previous trip to the UK, I only went into about 3 or 4 train shops. And I didn't go, like, I had a chance to go to Lord and Butler's, and I didn't even put together that they were in Cardiff, and we were in Cardiff. I could have gotten up one day and said, honey, before we walk down to the bay, let's take the bus across town and go to Lord and Butler's and check out that shop or something. And, you know, she would have been fine, but just never put it together until somebody mentioned it to us in an email and says, you're in Cardiff. Have you gone to Lord and Butler's yet? I'm like, Lord and Butler's is in Cardiff? Duh, yeah. Okay, so anyhow, let's stop my babbling and get some train showing. So let's go to the 11-lane view and show you what I'm running today. I was trying to come up with themes, and then and I actually had some trains I wanted to run and then changed my mind, but blah, blah, blah. So let's look at it. Here's the 11-lane view. And what I'm doing is I'm running speed and power. That's the theme today, speed and power. So I got 3 high-speed trains. I got a Czech Railjet, I've got an Austrian Railjet, and in between I'm running an ICE4. And then I split some of my freight, so I have a couple of short freight trains, obviously not prototypical, but I am running a container freight train being pulled by a blue class 218 Deutsche Bahn Pressnitzelbahn locomotive, a class 186 Railpool locomotive is pulling some tarpaulin cars and some other wagons. And then way in the back, I took my tankers off, and I have a class 187 in the background pulling those. So I'm going to get these guys in motion. And just hope everybody runs well. I did not get a chance to fully run these all in. I did check to make sure that all the points were closed, and I just did a very brief run-in. Come on, come on. All right, let's get these other guys going. And then I will come back to the chat in a minute. Okay, slow down there, dude. You're going a little too fast. And then in honor of it being yesterday and today the last official Beatles song to ever be released. Okay, it's not. It's a Beatles song. It is called an official Beatles song, but it's another one of their. They took one of John Lennon's demos and added their own stuff to it, and bada bing, they've got a song. In honor of that, I'm running 2 of my Beatle trains. So we've got the Mallard pulling the Beatle album cars, and we've got the Class 73 pulling the singles from Liverpool. All right, so who's come in? Hey, Boxcar Jerry has come in. Wolfsec Scenics is here. Eric from ANC Railroad is here. Lee from Manfield Road is here. Chris from Model Train Aficionado is here. Graham from Leamington, he's hanging in the background. Speaking of background, first of all, a shout out to my buddy Jean Ricard, who's working today, so he'll have to watch this on makeup later, whenever he watches that. A lot of times, my buddy Jim from Hover Motion is watching in the background. Doesn't usually come in the chat. Mark Bascom, Model Railway Fantasia, sometimes watches these from the background or watches later. So hello to all those guys. Anybody else that's in the background, you can't make it to your computer, but you're watching. Hello, howdy, hi. So yeah, we're running a mix of speed and power. So I got 3 high-speed trains rolling, and I've got 3 freight trains going. So that's my theme today. Hello, Andy Dobson. How are you, sir? Okay, there we go. Nice. That is very cool, Efo. I look at all the spoons he's posted as well. But very cool. Definitely a more metallic shine there. That's an excellent job. That man is definitely a skilled artisan. Thank you for that, Efo. Hey, Raymond Anthony, welcome in. How are you? I'm going to slow some of these high-speed trains down just so as they pass the cameras, you can get a better view of them. And I'll start going to the close-ups in a second here. I just want to make sure I'm getting everybody going. Because the Railjet here, he's enjoying this lane 3. He's running better than he does on lane 1. Hey, did I see Simo Diaz here? Hello, Sir Simo. Welcome in. Great to have you here. But yes, I am running my Czech Railjet, but I'm not running it with the Steuerwagen because I have not perked up the courage. I have not perked up the courage to open up that one coupling and splice it. And I finally found a shop that has the special adapter couplings for these, and those will be in hopefully next week. So then I don't need to worry about that or cutting into it. Hey, did I see Märklin Steve is here, and Charlie from Particle Station is here from Toronto. So welcome Märklin Steve and Charlie. I gotta change that camera out. It just hates motion. Somebody's trying to message me. Christopher sending me photos as I speak. Rayron, over an extended period of time, hundreds of hours of running, yes. In time, they do need to be replaced. Just depends on how often you run them, how fast you run them, how hard you run them, how often you clean stuff. But yes, in the long run, they do need replaced. Now, how long? I've talked to guys that said they haven't replaced skis in 15 years. Other guys say they replace the skis every 5 years. Oh yeah, I was fully recovered within 4 days of announcing I had it. I was fully recovered very quickly, and I never had horrible symptoms other than the drainage that caused my throat to my voice to go. I'm sorry, you've got a flu. Now the funny thing is, a couple of people who came down with the sea flu, as we call it. We don't use the showstopper term anymore. It's not stopping shows anymore, so we just call it the sea flu. Whoops, not that one, not that one. There we go. That's a great shot. Hey, Brian Finnerton is here. Nice to have you. Oh, please help out Dwight. What does Dwight need help with? Let me open that up and find it. Oh, okay. I got it. I missed that. All right, everybody. This is a friend of the channel, Dwight Curley. Fun guy, funny guy. He's getting very close to 500 subs, so we're going to try to get him over 500. So I'll give, of course, I always encourage all of you to check out each other's channels, because anybody who knows me knows if I start giving shout outs to one channel, I feel bad I'm not shouting out everybody. So I just like to shout out everybody. Of course, when somebody's getting very close to a very special border. But, you know, I encourage everybody here to post your channel link if you have one, or somebody else's channel, somebody you like and care about. But when somebody's like getting close to 500 or 1,000, maybe we take a little extra moment and see if we can help out. Dwight does American stock. He more does videos of some of his 3D printing, although he is building his layout with his 3D print. Very cool stuff. He's very good with his 3D printing. Nice guy, very friendly, very helpful to other people. Hey, there's Christopher. How are you, sir? But, but again, the minute I say that, there's so many people. Speaking of which, my buddy Tim JD is not here. I hope he's okay, or if he came in, I missed him. Hopefully I didn't miss him, because Tim is, along with Lee and Brian, and a few others that I'll probably forget since I'm stuttering over names right now. These guys have been with me since I started live streaming. Tom Couples, who also I have not seen come in yet. These people started with Video 1 or Livestream 1 or Livestream 2, and they have been there for me over the years. And to me, that's just a complete sign that they need help. There. I've got the 11-lane cam. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, it's still 11 lanes. Okay. It's just from an angle. Hey, Brian is here. There's another wonderful modeler with a great channel. Which one, Andy? Apparently my grandson Kyan wanted a Space Marine to be staring you down in this camera. I did catch he put that there. I told him to put it down somewhere because he wanted to take it upstairs and I didn't pay attention to where he put it. Like, nah, that guy stays down here. So we've got an Ultramarine staring you down. So we got Dwight's up there. Okay. Hey, Sean is here. Wow, that's an early morning for you. All right, well, I appreciate you stopping in because it's been a while since we've heard from the innocent folks of the innocent piddle folk, I should say. Actually, I don't think it's a Terminator. It is a straight-up Ultramarine. Terminators have slightly different armor. If I remember my 40K lore. But he's from the chapter Ultramarines. Nobody there. Ah, somebody going there. Man, I'm tired of straightening this camera out. I fix it one way and then it does the Batman tilt. You got to be of an age to know the Batman tilt. A lot of the Batman episodes were always filmed with a slight tilt to a rather extreme tilt on the camera just to make things off kilter. But at least there you can see some of the park trains. It's not a Primaris either. This is, was it, McFarlane made a series of Ultramarine, Space Marine figures. And now they're a fortune because they didn't sell well. Yeah, I did see that one. So there was one a couple weeks ago. Well, anyhow, what happened? Uh-oh. Oh, wow. Sean, I'm really sorry to hear that. Oh, shit. Well, we'll just blithely say all the best and hopefully things work out for the best one way or the other. Okay, this is the one best camera view to see the whole thing. The Delmenhorst side and the Bremen side. Delmenhorst, Bremen. And the back run is about 23 feet long. Basically what I have is, this is a 11-foot deep, 11.5 foot deep by 8 foot wide table. No, this is the 12. Which one's? See now, yeah. This is the 12.5 foot by 8 foot wide. 12.5 deep, 8 foot wide. Then the middle is 2.5 deep by just over 6 feet wide. And then I have that side, this side, from your camera perspective, is 11.5 feet by 8 feet. And then there's another 18 inches of a parking area, a shadow station, or as we say in German, a Schattenbahnhof, which you can't see from there. What camera is the best one? Well, let's just make everybody sick for a second. But there, now you can see all my ICEs, my German high-speed trains, parked over on the side. See, there's the camera you were looking at me from. And there's a bunch of my trains on the wall. And then you can see there's a little gap. That's my parking area where I stage all my high-speed trains. And then this is my Bremen side. My control center. Infinity and beyond. And then my Delmenhorst side with the Delmenhorst station. Hey, Raymond Legs, how are you? And Grandpa Rails, JD, how to have you? So that is the layout. There's just the work area, and then, oh my God, the bald spot. That wasn't intended. And then down there, you can see the 2 UK trains, the DC trains on the floor. We can't put the British trains up here with the European trains because of Brexit and all sorts of regulations. So it just, unfortunately, they're just left out. Hey, Mike is here. How are you, Mike? I have not added any buildings in a few months. I 3D printed a couple. I painted a couple of my 3D prints and put them in place. But yeah, I've done nothing on my layout in a couple of years, other than I have added a couple of buildings. I've got about 6 different things coming from eBay. And then I've got it's a lot of stuff, but it's small stuff with a new locomotive coming from my Model Bond Shop Lipa. Now, if anybody is new to the channel and hasn't seen this map, and you got to give me credit, guys, I haven't shown the map in, I haven't shown this map in several weeks. But, yeah, so here's how the table's laid out. Delmenhorst side, although I'm actually pointing to the Bremen side, but because of the way this camera is situated, everything's backwards. So Delmenhorst side, the middle area, and then the Bremen side. And then the cameras here show you the camera angles they're showing. Boy, that OBB Railjet is just flying. It is running better than it has in a long time. I think there's got to be something with that outer lane. I think it might need some power. Are all my points controlled by decoders? No. Which ones are controlled by decoders? I'd have to go to that camera again. But nah, I'll go to the pointy stick thing. And let's go to the this camera. Okay, so all these points on the long run here are controlled by decoders. So that's what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6 of them over here. And then down here. So all of those are on controllers or decoders. They all have decoders, and I can control them with my Central Station 3. Now, which other ones are controlled or still have decoders on them? Yeah, these two over here, I don't know if you can see them there. Those are on decoders. And then the rest, like all the ones inside the parking area here, inside the Bremen station, all these here, I do not have decoders in those yet. I've got 3 decoders I've had for about a year that I have yet to put in because I keep thinking I'm going to tear this out and realign it to make things fit a little better. So every time I go to put it in, I go, nah, I don't want to. I'll wait until I decide if I'm going to tear those out, because then I tear the points out and then I can just do it. And yes, it would only take 10 minutes or less. It would take 5 minutes to take the point out, put the decoder and motor in, and put it back in place and program it. Maybe 7 minutes if I'm going slow. Hey, Dicey, Randall Ellison has popped in. It's nice to have so many people popping in. It's great to see you all. Yeah, and Eric, and by the way, if you don't know Eric does, in case you can't read his name, Eric, who is ANC Railroad, N-Scale. He's the guy that often makes me wish I'd gone N-Scale, because in N-Scale, you can get everybody. You can get UK, Asian, Japanese, Chinese, Indian, Australian. You can get everybody in N-Scale. Now, yes, Japanese N-Scale is bigger, but at that size, don't care. He sometimes makes me wish I'd gone N-Scale, but then these make me glad I didn't go N-Scale. Yeah, I mean, I am glad people like it, and I tend to shrink back when people say I have a great layout, because to me, it is a layout, but it's a work I haven't even worked on in over 3 years. I think it's been 3 years since I tried to do the Fowler car and had it working, and then decided to upgrade it and screwed it up so that even the basic system wouldn't work anymore. And then I went out last year and bought all new stuff and said, summer of 2022, I'm going to get to work on it. Then it was like, okay, Easter, spring of 2023, I'm going to finally sit down and do it. And then other stuff came up, and I get involved with other projects like rebuilding our bedroom, doing some other things. And it takes forever, but with my mental state, I have to talk myself, and it can take weeks to talk myself into preparing to deal with it. And I will talk myself into it, and then something else will come up, and I have to redo a bathroom or fix a car or help my kids with something, or I just get lazy. But I love the fact I have this much space. I'm lucky, or I've worked for it, that I have this much space, and that my kids grew up and moved out. Well, 2 of my 3 grew up and moved out. The other one just grew up, hasn't moved out. But this room really wasn't being used for anything, and my wife just said one day, just take the basement. All right, good evening, James. You have a great weekend. I look forward. Uh-oh, wait, did a steamer crash? What happened? Yep. Good eyes by somebody. Ah, that crazy. Let's go see what happened. That stupid Mallard. I'm just trying to put this on multi-view, and I'll go see what happened with the Mallard. Oh, well, you're not on the ground. You just stopped working. Dude, pick it up. Get to work. I don't care how old you are. You set a speed record. Oh, you and your silly, goofy contacts. What was that? Somebody said Graham Fulston? Yeah, Dino, I've seen it. In fact, I have been, ever since Wiesmann announced it a year and a half ago, I've been following their car system. In fact, do I have them here? I've actually got their Wiesmann road tape, because what I'm working on right now is I'm trying to come up with a hybrid that will let certain Fowler car system things work with Wiesmann, because Wiesmann says you can use the two systems together. So you can use Fowler motors with Wiesmann cars. And Wiesmann has a cool little thing that no longer needs motors. They have magnets in them. That, well, they have motors, but rather than having motors to cause cars to stop and turn out, they use little magnets, and they have little signal things in their vehicles. The problem is they don't have the city buses. They don't have it, but they have design kits that you can take certain models by the German company Ritza and Herpa and do like what Graham did and customize. So the one thing is, the Fowler car system has a wire. It's just a metal wire. And then the car has a ski on it with a magnet. The ski has a magnet, and the magnet causes the ski to stick to the wire and follow it. The Wiesmann system, the tape is magnetic. So, but the Wiesmann, the tape is wider and flatter than the wire, so there's a lot of great application for it that would solve a couple of problems I have with the Fowler car system, just with however I tried to set it up. I mean, the Fowler car system should work exactly the way I designed it to work. In fact, it did, until I decided to make it all controllable through one relay system. I forget what they call it, but this really expensive, it was $125 system, and you plug all the motors and everything into it, and then you could control it from your computer. So I could just turn it on and have the things run and work automatically, rather than you have to turn the car on, press a button to make the motor work, press a button not to make the motor work. To the turnout motors, basically, not the car motor, but the because the way it works is the wire goes over, and they have these drop down motors that create electrical pulses, EM pulses, electromagnetic pulses. And with the turnout motor, it basically hits the ski and causes the ski to turn this way and follow the line this way, because you'll have two lines going. So if you want it to turn, there's a little activation with what's called a reed sensor, and then there's a reed switch in the car, and so the reed sensor activates the magnet, the electromagnetic motor that creates the pulse, and the car changes directions. On a stop, it sends an electromagnetic pulse. It creates an electromagnetic pulse and lasts 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, a minute, however long you set it to last. And it causes, so one pulse can cause it to go into the bus lane, and then the next one causes it to stop at the bus stop. But it's really creating little electromagnetic pulses. So it's a cool system, and I actually have old videos explaining how it works and showing me installing it, but they're from 4 years ago. Maybe even 5 years ago. No, it can't be 5 years ago. 4 years ago. So it's really cool, and I had it working in a basic system, but then it stopped. So Wiesmann, instead of using reed sensors and the unreliability of reed sensors, has gone with magnets, which I think is a smarter way to go. But the problem is my Fowler cars with the magnetized ski they won't move on the Wiesmann tape. You have to demagnetize that tape, or you got to pry the magnet off the ski, which can damage the ski. Anyhow, there, I've waffled on about that. Yeah, very much EFO like that. And they do make HO scale RC control, which would be great if I had a bunch of grandkids and they were older and just let them run the system. But for now, where it would just be some additional visual eye candy, but it's also holding me up because until I get this road, and I'll go to the village view here, and I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. And I will put the mic, and I'll actually put the mic as far as it will stretch. But, so what I'm going to have is I have decided now with the Wiesmann system, I want to have an outer run of a road that comes through here. And then right here is where the town hall and market square is. So the road would go in front of the town hall. The town hall should be right here, the market square. And technically, that would all, in reality, be over here more, but so that I could get this all set up properly, I've moved it this way. Although really I could still move the town hall right here and the market square and just build this up however I wanted. But anyhow, the bus center there, I have 3 traffic lines that have to go through there, and with the Fowler car system I could only do 2. But with the Wiesmann tape, I can actually do 3. There are 2 lanes of one-way traffic between the station and the bus center. Then there is a lane where the buses come in, and the buses actually come in up here, and they go down and around the station that way, or they come in way down there, and they come up to go on this side of the station. So, because the street there is one way, you see those cars in front of the, well, you probably can't see those cars in front of the station. The road actually goes this way. The road in front of the station goes from my right to left. The 2 lanes go that way, and the buses can't come in that way. They either come in down there. There's a road down there they would come in, and they would go to this side. Or the one-way traffic the other way is right here. The one-way traffic the other way is here, and there's a little side street. They come in, and they go down around the bus station that way to pull into the bus station. Now, I had it working with 1 lane with a change-off lane for them to pull into the bus station. I just had a big oval, and the buses, if you activated the motor, or the buses themselves actually had a special magnet on them that activated the reed sensor to turn on the motor. So regular traffic would go over the turn, buses would pull into the turn. So the buses would go into the bus station, stop at one of the stop at the station, wait 20, 30 seconds, and then pull back out. And I had that working for a few days. And then I decided to buy their Fowler's all-in-one, combine it all into one, control it all with one controller system, and that is where hell began. And since that time, I've never been able to get it working correctly. So there. Hello, Yowzer. Welcome in. Or Yazer, I should say. Yozer or Yazer. Long O or short O? Yozer? Yotzer? But yeah, so that is... But the thing is, that area that you see brown, that is actually all concrete with a couple of tree islands. It's parking. There's a couple of food shops, although the Turkish one that I have there is now out of business. It's not. There's a couple of buildings. The bus ticket office is at the other end to the top of your picture where that copse of trees is sitting right now. And I've got to make that one. But I can't go any further with this until I can get the road system in and then pave that, literally pave that concrete. I'm going to use auto leveling filler, that like what you might pour in a garage over the top of your, because I can get that stuff cheap. I just need a couple of gallons of it, and it will go up to about 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch, which is the depth of the Fowler tape, or the Wiesmann tape, and then I can just put the road stickers over it, paint it all road gray, and then put the road signs and the lane markers on it, and it would be perfect. And everything is set up for that, other than I can't get the damn car system to work. And it's me, it's not the car system. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of model train guys that have Fowler car systems working beautifully. I'm the idiot that can't seem to get it working. I had it working perfectly once, and then I messed with it. So let me get back to the multi-view. It means it's the smallest camera view, but that way everybody can see a little bit of everything. Okay, both trains are still working good. Yeah, and there's that. And I do like the Magna Rail, and technically I could probably do the Magna Rail in here. The reason I chose, and to me, Fowler car and Magna Rail are equal high quality. There's pros and some cons to both. The Magna Rail system allows you to make any car, even a little... Okay, Cayenne, where's the little smart car? Even a car as small as this in HO can run on Magna Rail, because Magna Rail is a drag chain, like a bike chain, that you put through a path, and then you just stick a little phalange, magnetic phalange, actually a metal phalange. The magnet is on the chain that's underneath, and it just drags along, and it drags the car along. Brilliant. So you can have any car. That's the wonderful upside of Magna Rail. Plus, Magna Rail does boats. And if you've ever seen Graham Fulston, he's got this beautiful thing where he and Hazel ride bikes around the area around their home, because he built his home and neighborhood on his layout. Beautiful. And it's so amazing to watch when he does videos where he shows Hazel and him riding around. But, and Magna Rail can do boats, where Fowler hasn't gotten there. Fowler, right now, their tech only allows them, I think the smallest they can go are vans, vans about this size. So cars, individual cars, personal vehicles, motorcycles, stuff like that, you can't do it, where you could do it with Magna Rail. The flip side is Magna Rail, it's just I shouldn't say perpetual, it's permanent motion. The cars just go in a loop. That's just it. You try to have them go under something, they go around the back and they come back out, like Everard Junction did it a while ago. You can't do traffic flows. You can't do anything. With Fowler, the problem with Fowler is you can't get little cars, but you can have trucks. But with Fowler, you can build stop signs. You can build traffic lights. You have bus stops. You can do so much more realistic traffic flow. You can have a car. You can have a car that's pulled off to the side of the road with a needing a tire change, and a car coming up the road or a truck coming up the road goes around it. You can design very creative traffic flow patterns with Fowler Car, and if you spend about $850, you can get their satellite system that you put up in your room all around if you want to spend $800 to $1,000, and it will all run it through your computer and create complete traffic flow. Now, what some people may not know is that Garrett Brown, one of the two brothers that's the public owners of Miniature Wonderland, he and Fowler Car have a work share relationship. He has designed things for the Fowler Car system, and then he tells them he needs stuff, and they design it for him, and then he takes what they design and redesigns it and sends it back. So he is, you know, when they talk about how they have the Fowler Car system at Miniature Wonderland, it's a Fowler Car system you can't buy because it's been upgraded by their tech. And that's not even talking about what they're doing with the Formula One, which is not Fowler Car at all, of course. That's a whole new world that they're trying to pull off there. And it is all new technology, which is why they're having some issues with it. Because they could have just done it with a Fowler Car or even a Magna Rail sort of thing, but they wanted it as realistic as possible, so they had to completely design it as the race course. The road of Monaco, of Monte Carlo, is just one gigantic motherboard. And they just have 10 billion sensors everywhere, and the cars have little chip sensors in them, and so they create random programming that causes the car to speed up, slow down. So the race is never the same. It's all random, but the technology is so cutting edge that they're still ironing bugs out over the 8 years since they started working on it. Yes, the airport is Fowler Car based, absolutely. So to me, there's pros and cons, because Fowler, the funny thing is their start sets are the same price, but once you get a start set and some expansions with Magna Rail, it's cheaper. You can just go buy cars, but you can do so much more with Fowler. You can do so much more, and Wiesmann is, in my mind, based on what I'm understanding of how they're doing it, they're trying to find a happy medium between the two. They're trying to make Fowler smoother and less likely to user faults. Because Fowler does have, if you don't get that read sensor in position just right, oops, things don't work. If you don't wire it just right, oops, things will work. Things can overheat. Oh, this, you know, there's so much wiring going on. Wiesmann's trying to eliminate that by just putting magnets in and then a magnet stick over the car to turn it off. But neither Wiesmann nor Fowler have been able to get the tech down to regular cars. It's always going to be truck or bus traffic. And I would be fully willing to give the Wiesmann car system a try. But I have got so much money invested in the Fowler Car system. But if some people want some of the Fowler Car stuff, I've got track and all sorts of stuff that I could donate, give away, because I'm not going to use it. I am going to go straight onto my board here. I'm not going to use the Fowler track. Am I using Streamlab? No. No, I'm sorry. If I've been preaching, hey, Ohio Steam and Steel is here. How are you? Clive is here. Hey, Clive, nice to have you all here. I was up to 41, but my ranting, or I didn't think I was ranting. I was just explaining. I chased off a few. But we had 41 or 42 at one point. Well, hello, Papa John. And I declare you a knight of the Rhomboid table. But no, I use OBS. Now, if you have the paid version of Streamlab or StreamYard, there is a way you can do what I do in StreamYard, but it's so complicated. Plus, when StreamYard created it, they didn't have the license from OBS to do everything, so some things went, and I'm not sure you can do it now. The nice thing about StreamYard is meant for a video chat. That's why you can have 6 people or up to 10 people, 12 people if you have the paid version. OBS is a broadcasting. That's why it's open broadcasting system. And it is designed to do this. It is designed to put a lot of cameras and do all sorts of things, but it's harder to bring guests in. There is an issue with bringing guests in. I cannot just put out like StreamYard, I cannot put out an address and say, hey, pop in here. I have to create this whole, and I have to do it and have the people logged in ahead of time. I have to create a window that would fit in here like this, and have everybody logged into it ahead of time. Like I could do a Zoom chat and then log the Zoom chats into here, but they would be out of sync because of the time it takes to send their information to Zoom and Zoom to OBS and then OBS back to YouTube. Things would be out of sync. Actually, Evo, I'm going to correct you now. Now it's in 2 warehouses. Yeah, the only thing holding Monaco up is getting the race cars in, because there are certain things they can't put in until the race car system is done. But, because you were just there, it was at least 70% finished when we were there in June. We did not take the behind-the-scenes tour this year when we were there in June. When we were there in 2019, we did the behind-the-scenes tour. And we would have liked to have done the behind-the-scenes tour this year as well, but we were trying to coordinate with other people, and some people weren't sure they were going to make it, and some didn't make it, and you really have to buy your tickets in advance. If you're going to go to Miniature Wonderland, you need to buy your tickets a few months in advance. You can go, you can show up, but you have to wait in the line. If you want to get in at a certain time, buy your tickets, and I would say you might want to look, depending on the time of year, 3 months in advance. At least 3 months in advance. Joyce and I bought ours probably 5 or 6 months in advance. Yeah, the harbor, they're still working on that. They've got the harbor. They've got most of the stuff for the harbor built separately. They haven't put it in. But again, from what I understand, they can't put the harbor in because they need the access to the race car section. So they can't finish the harbor and put it into place until they are certain the race car system is going to work properly. Well, I've never been to Monaco. I wouldn't say it's on the bucket list. It's not something, like when Joyce and I die, we're not going to regret not having gone to Monaco. But if opportunity arose where we could go down there, sure. But it's such a, Joyce and I would not fit in the world of Monaco. We are the exact opposite of the people who go to Monaco. And I know you get the tourist groups with Marge and Billy Bub from Oklahoma. Well, would you look at that, Marv? Look at that. I'm seeing a Marge. You won $250 there in the mid-90s. I've never gambled in a casino. I have played poker for money, and I've always walked away from the table with more money, but I'm a very conservative player. Which drove Joyce's family crazy because they were big-time bettors. And, you know, like, her one brother, ex-brother-in-law, because they're divorced now, but there were times he'd walk away from the table with $100, and there were times he'd walk away down 70, and there were times where he couldn't afford to be down 70. I might walk away with $20 in winnings or $5 in winnings, but I always walked away from her family's poker table with more money than I started. Now, see, I would be really interested in seeing that, Clive. I would love to see the Jacques Cousteau Museum. Hey, Ray Bertelson, you're moving boxes. That's okay. I, up until about an hour before I came live, I was moving close to 2 tons of debris. I got tired of waiting. The people that did our driveway did a beautiful job. Our garage is beautiful. They fixed the back wall. It's all set. It's safe. I'm very pleased with them. They were courteous. They worked hard. But they left a pile of junk and debris around my yard, and they said they were going to come back and clean up. 2 calls, 3 calls later, and it's like, well, we're tied up with this job. We're way behind because of the weather and blah, blah, blah. We'll try to get a crew out hopefully sometime this week. And, you know, it's been 3 weeks. So I just finally said to hell with it. I went and got a 2-ton dumpster, and I've been filling it up. And it is full. And even then, I wound up putting some stuff behind my garage. You see, his film on sharks, terrible. Huh. Did Clive get a postal delivery today? Or do we just assume because he always has a bunch of stuff that he gets? Hey, you gotta wait for the surprise. I've only been on for an hour. It feels like longer. But yeah, I was doing some work in the yard a couple weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, and I strained my back, and my back was killing me for a couple of weeks here. I've got sciatic now, and sciatic nerve issues, and I had about 4 days where I just was in misery, and then it slowly started getting better. So the smartest thing was not to be out there with a shovel and carrying all this stuff, but I did some of it on Wednesday, a little bit last night, and then I finished it up today. It took me about 3 hours. Understood. That was the nice thing. My kids walked the school, which is where Joyce now teaches, the school my kids went to. Joyce did not teach there when my kids did their elementary school, their grammar school, grades kindergarten through 6. Now it's kindergarten through 8 there. But they walked to school and walked home. When they were in junior high, which is 7th and 8th grade in the United States, they had a bus that dropped them off at the corner, and then they took about 5 minutes to walk home. And then high school, they came home with me if they want to, or they rode the bus home with their friends. The only time they didn't come home with me is when I was coaching, because I had to stay after school, but I didn't do a lot of coaching at that school. Most of my coaching was done before I moved to that school. My oldest daughter and I started at Bowser High School the same year. She was a first-year student, 13th grade, not 13th grade, 9th grade. She was 9th grade, and it was my first year teaching at that school. And then for the next 11 years, I taught my kids. I had my oldest for 4 straight years, and then she graduated, and my second daughter started. So those two never went to that school together. Lynn graduated, and then Liz started the next year. And then when Liz was in her last year, my son AJ started. So they were in school together for 1 year. But I loved having my kids. No, unfortunately, we did do final payment. You know, they piled everything up with the idea they were going to come back. So, but it just. They just asked for a 10-star review, and I said, guys, I can't give you a 10-star review when you left me hanging like this. Well, we were going to come back. When? I got tired of waiting. That's not our fault. Yes, it is your fault. Because they're a real good company, and my driveway is absolutely beautiful. They did an amazing job with it. And, you know, and they are a driveway company. And they could have said, hey, guy, your garage is falling apart. We can't do your garage floor, and we suggest you hire a contractor and get your garage fixed. They said, we'll fix it for you, and tacked on the cost, which was very, very fair, all things considered, because a contractor would have been, and they did exactly what the contractor would have done. They said, fortunately, we have masons, and we have guys that can do this work. And so they did it. So I got an all new floor, because originally they were just going to grind my garage floor down a couple inches and pour a new bit on top. But instead they dug out the entire floor and put all new, was it 6 inches? 4 inches of concrete down. New bed, concrete on top of it. Fixed the garage, leveled it up, braced it up. All new wall back there, all new concrete, sealed together. It's underpinned. It's also side pinned on both sides to just in case the erosion continues, which probably will. But at least now it's good for at least another 30, 40, 50 years. Hey, Digger Evans, welcome in. So in the long run, I'm not happy about the debris I had to take care of. But again, most of it was my debris. It's not like they left chunks of concrete. There was one bit which was topsoil and rock from the driveway that they, and then the backyard, it was just stuff they had to rip out of the garage, and I had to rip off part of my deck because I asked them to pour concrete up a certain way. Some large plants and hedges they had to rip out, but they said they were going to take care of it, and they didn't. But again, it got me outside. It got me doing a little physical work. And to be honest, after working on Wednesday, my back actually felt better. Like it needed those stretches. Yeah, what's really interesting is, we got about an average crew here. I've been spoiled. The last couple of weeks I've had nearly 50 people in chat at one time, and today it's low 30s. But that's all good. I'm just amazed people come and watch me run German trains every week and listen to me babble. Yeah, sadly, Robert, that was you did those live streams the other day, and I couldn't watch them because Cayenne. When I'm watching Cayenne, I get to watch one live stream. I make him he has to let me watch Mark Donegal Dad, that live stream. And on Tuesday, I try to get into High, because High does a Tuesday live stream. Those guys are kind of, you know, every Tuesday, every Thursday. And so I really try to either get Kai to take some time, like let him watch some Mickey Mouse on TV and let Opa watch his show. But sometimes he does not want to watch Mickey Mouse. He wants Opa to play hide and seek, Opa to play basketball, Opa to run trains. And I can't tell the kid no. I can, and sometimes I do, but overall, I can't tell the kid no. Evo, I would never say 100% not, but I would say it's not likely. That's just too weird a combination for me, and I know it's do what you want, but I just can't see myself having it pull double deckers. And if you missed me saying it at the beginning of the live stream, I have some actual BR rail cars coming in next week. One could arrive as early as tomorrow, and the others are coming in Monday. But I have some proper British Rail HO cars. They're Lima. Now, the biggest thing is I'm going to have to work one of the bogies out. Hey, there's Tom Couples. Hope you're well, Tom. And again, and speaking of, wow, Mark heard his name and popped in. Hey, Mark, how are you? Because Andrew of March West Junction, his wife just hit a significant birthday, so they're in Ireland celebrating. I don't know that I do anything for anybody other than I say job well done and watch your videos. You know, there are people that go out and, you know, like Ray Bertelson, who goes over to Tammy and Ray's place and helps build a layout for them and send stuff. Tammy, who makes stuff and sends it to everybody. People send cars back and forth. Now, yes, I've been hooking up Dino a little bit, and he's got some more stuff coming. But I just like to hang. You people do something for me. You guys give me community. You're my new friends. And it's been the people I've met. It's been amazing. The UK YouTubers, because the only American YouTuber I've met two American YouTubers. I've met Rick from Rick's Rail. He's changed his name twice recently, but he only lives like half an hour north. We really should find an excuse to get together. But I've met him at the Toledo Train Show, and we went to the Berea Train Show together. And then at the Berea Train Show, we went out to breakfast with Dave from Crooked River, who's an absolutely wonderful guy. So's Rick, by the way. Rick and his wife, Lisa, if I haven't got names wrong. Wonderful people. But, you know, you all do. I mean, Robert, you do your videos, and you're fun, you're engaging, you got great trains, you got a fun layout, you teach things. You do so much, and it's just, for me, it's just fun to watch. And then having met you in person, and just got to get 5 minutes of the Robert and Alan Morecambe and Wise impersonations was amazing banter. I got some of that on videotape. If anybody ever watches my video where Joyce and I meet a bunch of YouTubers, I think it was 8 fellow YouTubers from the UK. So one American and his wife, and then a bunch of UK YouTubers were there. And but a little bit of the banter back and forth between Alan and Robert had Joyce and me just in hysterics. We were giggling. But, you know, we also met Andrew from March West Junction, brilliant guy. Richard from Trains in the Attic, brilliant guy. A guy that comes in the channel and often hangs in the background, Carl Braun from Bang Got Your Junction. He was such a pleasure. Everybody else had gone, had to leave. Everybody else had to leave, but he stayed around for a little bit. And he took Joyce and me through another part of the museum and just explained so many things. Joyce was just asking him questions. I had a couple of questions, and he just was answering them until he had to leave. And then we said, okay, that was it. We met Leslie Gilpin there. What a amazing guy he is. You know, it just confirms what you see in their videos. Their intelligence, their intellect, their fun, their stories. Driving around with Alan Wiles and listening to his life stories, his truck driver stories, his birthday adventures, and things like that was just, they're the greatest things in the world. Of all the cool things we saw in the UK, the people we met and hung out with and chatted with. And I know I probably forgot, we met Tim J.D. in Cardiff and hung out with him in Newport and Gloucester. And I'm trying to think who all I'm ignoring from York that we met. But, you know, I got to go spend a day at Jim from Hover Motion's house and hang out and meet his beautiful wife and his two amazing daughters, and hang out in the loft for a few hours. And I think we tried to leave at 5:30, and Jim finally drove us home at 7:30 because we didn't want to leave, and Jim was quite happy not to push us out of the house, and I felt we had overstayed our visit. You know, unless they got their names in their titles, I'll forget a few names. Wait, is that Peter, James, or Mark? One of you's Peter, one of you's James, one of you's Mark. That's why I like you, Robert. You're right there, Robert's train set. Easy. Well, I mean, people hang out with me on the live stream, but I think there is a difference hanging out on a live stream and meeting the people in person for sure. I think everybody would probably agree to that. But again, on the flip side, I think most people would say that when you see Joyce and me on the live stream, that's who you meet in real life, except I probably don't talk as much. I talk a lot on the live stream. I don't talk as much in person. I tend to listen more. You'll need a new name for the new layout. Dodge Corners has a nice ring to it, but that's a different story. That's why Joyce and I are still very heartbroken we didn't get to go to Getz. And, you know, everybody's like, oh, Getz was packed. It was so insane. You're probably lucky you didn't go. No. We were not lucky we didn't go. We were unlucky. There were people, and we feel really bad because I know for a fact that Mark Donegal Dad was bringing some stuff for Joyce to buy and wrap up and give to me on Christmas. And if Mark is still listening in the background, Joyce says it to me, and I'm like, honey, you have him on Facebook Messenger now. You talk to him. She's like, she asked me, how are we going to get that stuff from Mark now? And I'm like, you got to figure that one out, honey. You and Mark figure that out. I did, Leslie, and you guys were brilliant. I just felt bad because I would have liked to have spent a full day or more with each and every one of you. Go back to your houses and see your layouts. Listen to your stories. That's why, in some ways, it was more special, and that it always sounds insulting to say that, and I don't want to be insulting at all. I have nothing but love and compliments for you all, but it was definitely hanging out with Jim for a full day, hanging out with Lee from Anfield Road for a whole day, hanging out with Alan for a full day, and then having him come down to York and hang out with us again. Tim JD, we saw him, we spent a good part of one day with him in Gloucester, and then hung out for a bit in Cardiff, and on the trains between Newport and Cardiff, which is only 12 minutes. But that's how cool it was, is that Tim was so eager to meet us, he was willing to wait at the station at Cardiff, hop on the train with us, and spend the 12 minutes with us, talk to us on the platform, and then, okay, I've got to go back. Let's go to Gloucester together tomorrow if you want. Cool. I'll give you a tour of Gloucester. And he did, and it was brilliant, and it was wonderful to hang out with him. Philip Page, and I've told this story so many times. Originally, there's going to be like 10 minutes between trains. He wants to meet us on the platform. He just wants to be on the platform and catch us running between trains. He figured out what train we were on when our connecting train was coming, and it's like, oh, it'll be on the same platform, just on the other side. I'll meet you and shake your hands. And never for the life of me have I ever been happier to find out a train was 30 minutes late, because we got in a couple of minutes early and our connecting train was 30 some minutes late, so we wound up having 37 minutes, 40 minutes to hang out on that platform and talk, and it was wonderful. Hey, Trackside Mike, thanks for popping in. So I think as much as, you know, we go into each other's live streams, and it's great to hang out, and I have a captive audience, because other than when Joyce comes in, I'm not co-hosting. Because sometimes that happens. When you go into streams where there's a lot of hosts, they do a lot of talking to each other, and then they're not really communicating with the people on the chat as much. And I'm bad for that myself, watching the trains and rattling on whatever I'm rattling on about, but I try to talk about. Don't be drunk when you say it. And the problem is, there's so many beautiful people. You can't hang out in every live stream. You can't join every channel. But man, I'm pleased with the people I can get to. Trackside Mike. And the funny thing is how I got to Trackside Mike's channel. And Trackside Mike and James Dalton are brilliant people. Love both their channels, and I think they're both excellent people, and they draw their crowds, you know. And, you know, Mike has his signature catchphrase, keep it on the tracks, you know. But I wasn't watching Canadian channels. I was watching German and UK channels, and didn't even have an American channel. And then I came across a couple of American channels and started watching them. And then Sparky, who's Canadian, I started watching his channel, and then I met a bunch of Americans and Canadians through Sparky's channel. But one night, I'm flipping through YouTube, and I see that there's a live stream. It came up on my suggested feed, live stream, Third Rail Thursday. And I'm like, Third Rail Thursday? I run 3 rails? Maybe this is a bunch of Märklin guys. Yeah, let's go. And I turn in, and it's Canadian guys. It's Mark from M&M Rails and Chris from Go Via Go Home, who are amazing modelers and brilliant channels. And I got addicted. I love watching them. They're both they're loaded with personality, and they do great work. But I was disappointed because I thought I was finding an American home for third rail guys, and no, it's Canadians, and there's nothing third rail about their layouts. Yeah, I miss Sparky's live stream channel, or his live streams, his Wednesday live streams. I do miss it. He was brilliant, but life happens. You know, he still works, and talk about people who did stuff. He would do those Christmas specials and giveaways, and he was very involved in the community. He built up a lot of channels, and he did a lot of stuff, but it takes work to do that stuff. This does not take work. My live stream takes no work. The work is I got to decide what trains to run. I don't write a script. you know, my parody songs are a hell of a lot more work. My Matt Clark stuff is a hell of a lot more work. That's work. It's fun. I do it because it's fun, but I work to produce those pathetic little things. And Joyce supposedly is planning on singing at least 3 songs this weekend. She was going to sing one yesterday, and then, oh, I was waiting for you to ask me. I was waiting for you to tell me you were ready. Yeah, Kelly doesn't like smelly diesels, and she's not a big fan of electrics either. She wants steams and only steams, from what I understand. But, hey, my diesels down here don't stink. In fact, the only trains I have that stink are my steamers when I use their steam functions. Yeah, and then, but I met so many people, but then I started filtering to the Americans, Railpool Bell, and then other things, and then Sidetrack Sunday kicked in, and I got introduced to another crowd. I still don't feel like I'm part of the American crowd. I'm known on channels, I get a lot of the Americans, but there's also, like, all the really big American channels I'm not on, I'm not subscribed to. I like the smaller guys without sounding, you know, I like, you know, the guys that are 300 to 2,000 subs and not the 8,000, 20,000, 50,000 sub channels as much. But now I have a ton of American channels I follow, and I consider myself friends of and friends with. And but there was a time where there wasn't, and I slowly filtered in, and then I got into the Canadian channels, and from Sidetrack Sunday, from Third Rail Thursday, I came across James Galton and Trackside Mike, and then I started watching Trackside Mike's channel and James Galton, and James Galton came into a lot of the same feeds I did. That's Dundas Junction, if you didn't know. All right, good night, Mike. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hey, there's Mick. Oh, you're hanging out with your newly found sisters. Well, hello, Mick's newly found sisters. You can crank this up, and I'll say hello to them. In an American accent, even. Or I can do it in a German accent if you want. Hello, Mick's sisters. How are you doing? Good body every evening. But yeah, so you discover channels, and there's just some. Yeah, and they don't always, of course, some people don't return the favor. There are people that are subscribed to my channel but never visit. They never watch a video. They never comment on it. They gave me a subscription. That's good, because I don't do, you know, there are channels out there that they don't want to watch guys just run trains and never working on the layout. There are guys, they want to see you building. They want to see you working. They want to see your layout change. If I want to watch trains run, I'll watch my own trains run. So, you know, you no matter what you do, you can't please. And I still, it's crazy. I still see myself as a small channel, and I don't know, where do you draw the line? What is a small channel? What is a big channel? What is a medium-sized channel? But I'm not a small channel, but I still feel that way. The number of subs I have, which, and I know the number of subs I have this week because I have had a massive jump because of the Flying Scotsman video stuff I did last week. I've gained 20 subs since last Friday. Since I posted the short with the Flying Scotsman and the video about the Flying Scotsman Thursday night into Friday, I've gained at least 20 subs. I'm grateful for that. But that's it, you know. And again, when you get a partner, it works. Like all the guys from Third Rail Thursday, and there's a guy that used to be a part of the rotation that had kids and life happened and had to step away. And I apologize. I think his name was Dave, but I could be totally wrong on Third Rail Thursday. He had to step away, but still, there's, you know, there's something for everybody. But when you have partners, you got to hope the partners do work together. I have been co-hosting Artie's show for I don't know how long. I got to wait for Artie to wake up and ask him, how long have I been hosting? Because it's Artie's show, and he just asked me to come on once last year to hold it open while he was on location. And I started playing around, and Artie and I were already friends, which is why he asked me to do it. But Artie was on location and occasionally losing his signal, so he wanted me to stay online and keep the stream open. So I was like in the studio. And I just, anytime he lost signal, I just started doing what I do, which is act like an idiot. And he asked me before the next week, he said, you want to just be a permanent co-host? He was like, I love what you did. This was funny. I love that bit, this bit. And he asked me to be a permanent co-host. Like, would I be willing to come on every Saturday? And I said, well, except for times where Joyce and I might have something to do, because we used to go out a lot on Saturdays, but we don't go out on Saturdays anymore. You don't bring me flowers anymore. No, you know, the C thing happened. We stopped going out. We used to go out every Saturday night. That was date night for Joyce and me. Every Saturday night, we dress up a little bit and go out to a club. Well, not a club, but a restaurant, a pub, something like that. Eat dinner. And the rule was try to keep the cell phones off and not talk about work. And we stopped going out with the C flu, the pandemic, and we never went back to it. We're still a little uncomfortable going out to eat. Hey, there's Tammy and Ray. But anyhow, so I now co-host with Artie, except for when I'm not there, like when I'm on my vacation or something comes up and I can't be there. You know, like my son getting married. But I enjoy it. But I always, you know, I've tried, especially in the last few months, to not start clowning and take over the stream. Now, he has other people come up as well. But Artie and I banter back and forth all the time. And some people like it and some people don't. And there are some people who have said, Artie, your stream would be more fun if you ditched this guy. Happy birthday, Ray. That's right. Happy birthday. I'd send you a train, but it's 3 rail and it wouldn't work on your layout. I have nothing that's 2 rail, except for I've got an N-scale locomotive a friend from Norway sent me, and he hasn't been in here in a while. So wherever Stefan is, he was a young guy. He's probably out partying on Friday nights. Wherever you are, every now and then he comes in. Stefan, skål! Lionel is 3 rail in O gauge. I don't know if anybody else is 3 rail in O gauge. Märklin is only 3 rail in HO. All the other things Märklin does is 2 rail. Märklin is my primary German company, although I've got a lot of Roco. In fact, I think I had a string there where I bought like 5 straight Roco locos. And finally bought a couple of Märklins. In fact, the next locomotive I've got coming in next week is a Märklin. Yeah, well, all I know is Lionel, Oge. That's all I know. I'm not saying they're not anywhere else, but from what I understand, I thought Lionel was the only 3-rail in O gauge, and I know nothing about G scale. I know Märklin's G scale company, LGB. I know they're 2-rail. Scott Rails, there's no such thing as being late here. No such thing as being late. I just sit here and run trains and expect to be alone, and then people come in and cheer me up. And then Joyce gets here, and then things get funny. Scott Rails, which is still one of my favorite liveries in the UK. Of course. You're Dave and you're in Canada, but you are Scottish. At least I think you're in Canada. I thought you were in Canada. But my problem is I'm not subscribed to nearly as many people who are subscribed to me because I do have a sense of dedication that I watch every video. Now, I'm trying to teach myself that I don't have to comment on every video, but so now I don't always comment on shorts because I'll watch like 20, 30 shorts in a row. Just, you know, even though I'm retired now, I still don't have that much time. And then there are days that kill me, like, was it last Friday or was it was sometime last weekend, about 9 different channels put up videos of 25 minutes or more. And I'm like, how am I going to watch all these? But I do. But then I'm trying to watch all those videos and, oh, look, Randall went live. I got to support my buddy Randall, so I'll turn the volume down on somebody's video I'm watching on the TV, and I'll start chatting in Randall's chat. And then I'll look up and go, wow, I really didn't watch that video. Then I have to go back and skim and see what I missed. Well, Andrew, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be out partying. You're in Ireland and having a getaway celebration for your lady love. Now, Leslie, don't take that personally. I didn't say that. I said there's nothing wrong with a 30-minute video. There's nothing wrong with a 30-minute video. Half of my videos are 30 minutes. I've only in the last couple of years learned to shorten them down to 20. Because I got told nobody's going to watch a 30-minute video. And I'm like, I watch 30-minute videos if they're good, like Leslie's. So don't apologize. It's just sometimes you get that day where Everard Junctions dropped his 55-minute video, and New Junctions decided to pop a new video, and that's half an hour to catch us all up. And this guy's popped 30, and this guy's popped 30, and this guy's popped 30. Oh, and Leslie has his video, and, you know, it's not a complaint, okay? It may sound like it, but it's not. It's not a complaint. I just pointed out that I do get frantic on some days, like, how am I going to watch all these videos and comment on them? Because I feel obligated. And no, I don't fast forward, but as Joyce will tell you, I will sometimes be watching 2 and even 3 videos at once. And yes, I can pull it off. I'll have one on the TV, one on the computer, and one on the phone. Or I'm watching one video, a second one's on the phone while I'm chatting in a live stream. So I might be going, oh, that's really cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Oh, that's cool. Sure, I flip on this camera after everything left, just a day late. So I did have a theme today. It was speed and power. We have 3 freight trains pulling. Of course, a couple of them are pulling short cargoes. Not very prototypical. There's that dreaded P word. And then I've got 3 high-speed trains. I've got an Austrian Railjet coming around the corner right now. There's the Austrian Railjet. You can see the 3 freighters. We got a container car freight train. We got a tanker freight train. And definitely very short. You never see it that short. But on that short loop of track, it works. And then we got this tarpaulin and other covered wagons and such here. But now coming around here, we have the ICE-4, the German high-speed train, the newest iteration, although they're already designing the ICE-5. And then coming around the corner again, we have the Czech Railjet. Same as the Austrian, just Czech, although it's got an Austrian locomotive on it. Never mind the quality, feel the width. Never mind the bullocks, it's the Sex Pistols. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, yes, the Austrian Railjet, probably one of my favorite train liveries in the world. And the Czech Railjet, too. I think the ICE-3 is probably my favorite train. Well, no, I'm thinking the Railjet probably. Now that I've ridden on a Railjet and had the comfort of first class on a Railjet, the Railjet might be my favorite train in the world. Livery-wise, the Austrian and Czech Railjet are up there. I do love my ICE-3s and the ICE-4s. But this is a first. It is the first time I've run 3 freight trains. Now, let's go down on the floor. Technically, I'm running 2 more freight trains because that train, the Beatle singles from Liverpool, celebrating the last Beatle single ever to be released yesterday, and the video today. And then the boxcars, which are the Beatle albums, and I've got... Hornby has released them, but not to Hornby USA yet. They're not in the United States yet. They're sold out on the Hornby UK site, but they're not even on the Hornby USA page. So that's weird. Freight rules, passenger drools. Well, hi, Jackie. How are you? You're getting over another chest infection. Dear, we've got to do something about that. You cannot keep getting those, damn it. But, so technically I'm running 5 freight trains today. So that's an all-time record right there. That's 5. We got 5 freight trains running. I'm going to slow this Austrian Railjet down just a bit. He has been running circles around the Czech Railjet. Because the Czech Railjets are actually have more limited speed allowances than the Austrian ones. Even though they're pulled by the same Taurus locomotives, I'm sure Evo probably knows the reason why. It's something to do with the braking system and all that, I believe. But yeah, it's... I don't have any of my freight going jack speed, but I am trying to keep them running fairly slow. Although the tankers are going a little fast, I guess. Yeah, it really is, Efo. The Czech Railjet is Austrian. It's built, and they just put the different livery on it and give it to the Austrians. Or give it to the Czechs, I mean. But yeah, it is Austrian. But the Czech Railjets do have a lower speed. What am I looking for? A lower high-end speed. The Austrian Railjets can go faster than the Czech ones. The Austrian Railjets can go faster. even my models, the one is 180 kilometers an hour, and the other one's 140. The Austrian Railjet's 180. The Czech is 140. Now, Mike, are you saying you're 6'2", or are you saying Curly is 6'2"? Because barefoot, I'm 6'3". The minute I put on shoes, I'm 6'4". You got me on the big screen. That is, especially if I go micro screen, the best way to watch my channel is on a big screen TV, because then all the mini views become like tablet size or bigger. And then you can see all the stuff running. All right, Mark, take care. You might want to talk to Joyce when you have some free time. Text her and nag her. How often do I clean track? Well, I just did a basic track cleaning last week. I do 3 track cleanings a year, and that's probably really bad. Maybe 4. I do 2 with my track cleaning cars, and then at least once a year I get my cleaners out and I give a thorough elbow grease based cleaning. I go through and just hand scour all my track. I've got a couple of little devices I've invented. I use the heavy hard sponge that computer and 3D printers come with. I cut that up, and I've got that on a little pulley of a stick, so the places I can't reach, I can just push it along the track like this. And those hard foam rubber pads do a great job. They clean amazing. Let me see if I've got the one here. It's melting here. It's melting here. Oh, there we go. Now, I will get asked a dumb, well, I shouldn't say a dumb question, but a sarcastic question, but I'll try to explain anyhow. Let's go to solo. Okay, so block of wood, free. With any piece of wood you don't need the whole thing with. And then here's this sponge foam, hard sponge foam. This came with one of my 3D printers, the old one, you know, hard. And then just super glued, but you can see the glue has worn off because I only put a light coat. It absorbs into the wall. But I take this and I will rub this along the tracks. And this cleans them because I can, for example, I just cleaned my tracks a couple of weeks ago. And that's what just came off. I'll take this and rub it along those tracks. Come on, IC4, get out of the way! And I just push them down, you know, I could show you like on here. And I just push it along like that. And I actually have some track cleaner that I put on this and let it soak in. But I do that, and then I can run my hand along that. Nothing. And I wanted to use my hand instead of my fingers again. So I just run my hand on that, and you can see nothing. And I think you guys are seeing my hand go on here. I do the same thing up here with my fingers. So these are amazing. I really should just stop using my cleaning cars and do these, but this is more tedious work. Now, some people ask, because it's black, how do you tell it's clean the track? Because I do that. I do the hand check, and they're clean. And how do you tell this when this is worn out? Well, I do wash them occasionally. I take them to a sink, wash them out, and watch all the dirt and grease come out, dry them off. And then when they just get too rubbed like this, like it's almost time to replace this one. But it's a free cleaner, and it's better than those hard stone rubbers, as they call them in the UK. Of course, we Americans always laugh at that. Well, I'm going to take a rubber and run it along my track. What? You're going to poke holes in it. A track rubber. But I just go along like that, and they're fantastic. They really do. So if you ever, make sure it's that heavy foam, not that thick but soft or even hard foam, although those could work too. But this spongy, that's why I call it this thick rubberized sponge. This stuff is great for cleaning track. That is one of the very rare tips I will ever give. I've done exactly 2 tips in my 5 years on YouTube, or 5 years with this channel. 5 years. It was 5 years ago, November 9th, that I became Model Train Outsider. I posted my first video on this channel October 25th, and then I decided I needed a name, and I was going to do a show, and I came up with the Model Train Outsider show, which only the old originals remember. Me and the Ghost of 2015 arguing back and forth. But I did one video where I showed how a tip, which I still stand by, on making your ballast. People are like, well, I got to walk away from my ballast for 24 hours and let it set. And I showed a trick how you can speed up that process heavily, cut it down by half by 2/3. And that video got like 500 views. And several people said it worked. And I was like, yeah, it does. I know I come across as an idiot with model trains, but when there's something I do know, I'll tell you. So this is my other tip, is if you can get these hard foam things, any size, these are great track cleaners, and they do less damage to your rails than those hard stone rubbers or steel wool or anything else people use. And then you can pour your track cleaning solutions on this as well. But there you go. All right, good night, Leslie. Thanks for hanging in. Angle grinder. There's Mark, an angle grinder. Well, actually, I find dynamite is great for removing stains off your track. It also removes the track. But as nobody's proven me wrong yet, I'm going to claim it works. Wasn't that a Monty Python's skit? Graham Chapman played a doctor that was curing athlete's foot with dynamite. 50 patients missing, assumed cured. Presumed cured. But, I try not to give tips because there's a lot of people that have much more depth and knowledge in these areas than I do. 20 years ago, I'd tell you how to fix a computer. Now, I wouldn't dare tell you how to fix a computer. Now, when I was on OBS, and lots of people were having trouble with OBS, and I was 8 cameras, 9 cameras, 10 cameras, and not having problems, people were asking me, how do you do OBS? And then, like last year or a year and a half ago, I finally got talked into it. I did some long videos, but I took 4 20-minute videos to explain something you should be able to do in 10 minutes. Because I was asked specifically to explain it to somebody as if they had never seen OBS in their life before. And I was like, okay, well, before you do OBS, you got to understand this about your computer. And then before you install OBS, you need to understand this. Now, when you install OBS, before you even try to broadcast with OBS, you need to understand this. Now, I had 2 people post videos, including George from Florida Railroad Dog, who posted a video saying, thank you, Anthony. You explained this to me, and I'm here babbling still and not showing trains. All right. Thank you for joining us, Robert. Always a pleasure. You take care of yourself. Oh, and Rick and David here. Rick, thank you. That site gave me, they did not have what I was looking for, but they had part numbers and I found them on eBay. So your help, and I came to you because, I mean, this is not fawning. I'm not a flatterer. My job for 36 years was to explain things to people who didn't understand it and to recognize intelligence. I recognize intelligence, and you have an amazing wealth of knowledge, both of British models and you. And I sit there and watch your videos, and I go, "How does he know that?" And I know how you know it because it was your passion, and you learned these things. Just like, how do I know every inch of Lord of the Rings, or how do I know World War II history, or how do I know American Civil War history, or blah blah blah, or just about any phase of history. Should have been a history teacher, but the problem is I would have had to I needed 2 more history courses to get my history degree so I could teach history. I wound up teaching history anyhow at times, but I was just like, I've already got a major in linguistics and German and English and education. I needed a break, and it was like, history, and I dropped history. But anyhow, much appreciated. Thank you. I found some cars that definitely will work with the Flying Scotsman that are HO, and they will be here early next week. Yes, happy birthday to Mrs. McDonald. I'm going to be crude and embarrassed, but I can't resist it. The joke is there. Now, Andrew's lovely wife is celebrating her 50th birthday, which is obviously a milestone. Joyce passed her 50th a few years ago, but as I always say, she does not look her age. Now, you guys see her when she's just got off work, and you've never seen her where she's, well, some of you have met her where she's relaxed and happy and not stressed out about stuff, and yeah. But anyhow, but there's a little detail in this relationship between Andrew MacDonald and his lovely lady. As they got to know each other and decided to pop the question and all things became equal, the one embarrassing moment is that he's never been able to live down is that the first night they were together as a romantic couple, he took her out to eat, and then they had some wine, and then they went back. And Andrew says, well, I've taken you out for the fine food, but now prepare for the Big Mac attack. And he's never been able to live that down. It was just such a cringeworthy, horrible comment to say the first time you're being romantic, and he called it the Big Mac attack. I know the Civil War history because I was there. Dude, I ain't that old. Jeez. There are other people in this chat we could save that joke for. But I know my Civil War, and I know the English Civil War, and all the English Civil Wars, because there's only one that was called the English Civil War, but there were many, many, many English Civil Wars. More like a McNugget. Ouch! Self-abuse. Self-abuse. That's terrible. Speaking of the Big Mac attack, the feet of God have walked past. It's Wifey Poo. Hey, Hi is here. Hello, Hi.
Hi.
Oh, I didn't load it up for you this time.
Yeah.
Well, load your own damn computer up. Gee whiz. Come on.
Yeah.
You're on the wrong one.
I'm on the wrong one?
Yeah.
Oops, that was the old one.
That's the old one. You got to go to my main page.
This is
Hit,
your main page.
yeah, there it is. Hit live.
So that one.
That one. Yes.
That was last week's. Yeah.
And there's a
Guys, happy
microphone.
with your likes. Like, wow, you already have 50? No, that was last week. So,
Oh, we're at 40.
yeah, you are. It's great. So, hi, Tom. Hi, Bailey. Hi.
Oh, and we got
Hi,
a turd.
Andrew. Hi, Digger. Now, if anybody snuck that in ahead of time, does it look like it? Oh, yeah. Oh, hi.
That chops off part of your
I'm
head.
okay, just extremely tired as always. I tutor very early in the morning on Monday, so I had to get everything ready. Although, I think I'm going to ask Carolyn what her website was. That's your new shirt? Yeah?
That was my new shirt.
Okay. Looks good. I thought you'd washed it first. Yeah, you look great.
I deserve a better smile than that. Come on, woman, I dressed up for you. I moved 2 tons of debris,
I saw that, yes.
and then I cleaned myself up and put on a nice shirt just to impress you.
Oh, baby, you know I love you
Doing the
dearly.
muscles,
Yep.
working through the bad back just to impress you, and I
Yes.
get a, yeah, it looks nice.
Oh,
I
sorry.
tell you.
Oh, honey, I'm
If you
exhausted.
came out in a dress and I said, yeah, it looks nice,
Okay.
you'd be like, you don't like it then.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. Don't go there. I'm behind. What the heck?
I didn't sit next to Jesus. He was a few classes behind me. I sat next to T-Rex.
I got it.
And I don't mean Mark Boland. I always had to do his homework for him because he couldn't reach the pencil to the paper.
I didn't get a lot of hands.
All right, can you guess today's theme? There is a theme.
You have all of your... You got all your cargo trains going.
In fact, split. Because the
Okay.
tankers are on one train,
Yeah,
and the
gotcha. And you got your Railjet and the other Railjets.
yes,
So, are they all Austrian? Oh, you got your ICE-4?
yep.
Yep. So what's, I don't know, maybe just all the ones that would visit Delmenhorst, I think maybe, I don't know.
Oh, Lindy and Kyan are here.
Yeah, how come it's not up on here?
Well, they came in while I was messing around, apparently.
I don't know.
Hey, I don't know. All right, well, let's get...
Yeah.
Kyan! Opa loves you!
Hi, Kyle.
Hi, Kyan!
Love you, love you, love you, love you.
Hey, Lindy and Chris, love you guys
Lindy
too.
and Chris, hope you didn't have the zoomies today.
He wasn't tired last night, was he? Opa worked him out.
You sure did.
But anyhow, yes, if you are new to the channel,
Yeah, refresh on this. It
Lindy
doesn't seem to be catching
in here,
on.
Lindy Loves, that is my daughter, Lynn.
Yeah.
Laurelyn is her full name, but she
Yeah.
goes by Lindy. Or Lynn to other family. And
well,
she is the mother of my grandson, Kyan, who some of you may have seen
So,
in
hi,
videos.
Raymond.
The cutest little grandson in the world, but I'm biased.
We're biased, yeah, of course. We love them dearly. So anyway, if I missed any hellos, I just rebooted because it didn't seem to be giving it to me.
Well, type in the chat and see if it was something. Let's get your, wow. Dudes, come on, what's up with that? Why were you at 480?
Huh?
You were on low resolution, too.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure what's going on.
Kyan is in the house! Okay,
Kyan's in
so
the house.
you saw 2 Railjets and an ICE-4. You correctly
Yes.
identified them all, of course.
Yes.
And then you recognized 3 different freights.
Right.
So 2 Railjets and ICE-4, and then 3 freights.
And a partridge
In a pear tree.
Okay. I'll put you on the
Can you
edge
catch the theme? Put your phone away. Catch a theme.
No,
oh,
I'm
right.
gonna-
Oh, right. Sorry. She's a teacher. She takes her phone out and sits down.
Oh, I should put my new password.
Hey,
in.
Ian is here. Howdy,
What is it?
fellow
Oh,
Knight of the Rhomboid table. Dame Joyce, I'm still awaiting your reply as to, can you
Who
guess
is
today's
this?
theme? Now, what type of train is the Railjet, or Railjets? What type of train? Give you a minute. What, you have to type in oh, you're doing your school one.
Yeah, I had to. Oh my god, how do I get a verification code on my stupid phone?
Because they'll send it to you. Have you heard your new nickname? No, we have not. What is your new nickname now? Because if you haven't told us, we haven't heard.
Alright, well it got me here, so I'm going to ignore that for right now. Okay. Your new nickname, Andrew?
The Glaswegian Gooser, and the ladies aren't happy about it.
Yeah, this is not updating. What the heck? It's not getting past the screen. So hi, Mike. I don't know what it's doing, but it's not progressing. Because that's not working.
Okay, there you go.
So who
Well,
else
at least it
haven't I
bounced
said
up
hi
now.
to?
Let's see if it moves.
Yeah, because the computer
Okay, now it's
wasn't working.
moving. There you go.
Okay. I just say hee hee.
It needed a kick in the butt.
Shortbread Express.
Shortbread Express.
Oh, okay then. So I'm sorry if I missed any hellos. It wasn't progressing. So hi everybody.
The Glaswegian Glassblower.
Okay, now it's working. Anthony got it. I don't know why the heck it wasn't going.
And now I have fixed her
Yeah, see, because I can see over there. It's like, that's not what's moving here. So if I
while
miss-
wearing my nice new spiffy shirt.
You bet. You're beautiful. Okay, you're very handsome if you want the manly. You're my manly man.
If you want the manly.
Hi, March West.
Notice how she says, if you want the manly, and she says it so condescendingly. You little weak. So anyhow.
I'm not up to be messed with.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's Friday. You're free.
Yeah, I know. Thank God. No, one of the kids.
It was Halloween, dear. It's a week from now.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, he was terrible today.
All right, well, tell me about it off screen.
Yeah, I'll tell you off screen. He was
So
horrible.
anyhow, what type of train is a Railjet?
Okay, it is an Austrian.
Well, it's Austrian, right? Austrian Railjet, Czech Railjet. You got
Oh, what is it? Oh, you're really putting me on the hot seat.
that. No, it's a
I'm not
Railjet. No,
ready.
no, I'm not asking whether it's a Taurus or not. Not
Okay,
that.
I was trying to come up with
Just
Taurus.
in general, what class of train would it fit into?
It's a passenger.
Yes, but specifically what kind of passenger?
An express train.
Yes. And the Czech Railjet
It's also an express train.
and the ICE4.
It's an express train.
So you got 3 express trains.
And a bunch of cargo.
So 3 express, 3 freight.
Okay. EFG? What the hell? What do you want?
Power and speed. Speed and power.
Speed and power. Okay. Oh, boy.
I'll call it the Bo Jackson running session.
There you
Speed
go.
and power. The
Speed
Bo
and
Jackson.
power, the Bo
The Bo
Jackson.
Jackson. All the UK guys are, who? What?
Yeah, you wouldn't know them. Yeah, you had yours last week. This week, yeah, we're...
Extra hour of
The
sleep.
next hour of sleep is going to be
Joyce will be
fantastic.
happy.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. He played football and baseball.
He was.
American football, let me clarify that. And so he was
And he was
just an
awesome at them
outstanding...
both.
Yes, he was an outstanding athlete.
If he had just stayed football, he would have been a Hall of Famer
Yeah,
in football. Although he might
probably.
have. Did he go to the Hall of Fame anyhow?
Oh, I don't know.
And if he had concentrated just on baseball, he
We'd
probably
have
would
to
have made the
Google that.
Baseball Hall of Fame. But he was
Yeah.
one of the most powerful runners in all the history of American football. And he was also faster than greased lightning.
Oh, more Scottish slang. Shortbread Express, the Scottish flag. With the new Beatles single, I think they put the clocks back
Yeah,
too far.
and that's why on the floor I'm running my 2 of my Beatle trains.
Right,
The
just in
singles,
honor,
the
yeah.
singles, and but they
Well,
also fit in with they're both freight.
I tell you, when they cleared it, it made me cry. Like, oh, there's John Lennon.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, Andrew, I do know you're Scottish, darling. But I don't know your Scottish slang well enough to get your jokes, I think. Full of patter, though, that I do understand. I would get some of it, but right now I'm a little overwhelmed, I think.
she's been put on the stool too quickly.
Yeah, it was too quickly. You need to let me calm.
Need to let her sit down and relax for a few
Breathe,
minutes.
and yeah, I finally took my
She's being
shoes
forced
off.
to quiz and.
Oh.
But no, with the new Beatles song,
I'm gonna
with
wash your shirt. I'm gonna wash your shirt first. It's your first.
you can wash it with the
I'll wash
rest
it
of the
this
laundry
weekend,
tomorrow. But I got to
yes.
wear it anyhow.
Okay. Yes, I noticed there were all kinds of things in the bathroom there.
No, Epson, I don't need a software update right now. And see, you tell
Oh,
them
I
no.
just updated it. I just did it upstairs.
Yeah, but it has
So
to do it
why
for each
is it
computer.
bugging it?
But no, because they have to do it with each computer. But the thing is, I say no, and it says, okay, we're going to do it anyhow.
Yeah, it will. So, no, I was sending stuff to print, and I have to walk way down the hall to the printer, and no print jobs waiting.
Yeah.
So that didn't make me happy.
Oh, and so you have to walk back and.
I mean,
why
I
don't
already
you
have
send it?
12,000 steps in already today.
Yeah.
Ugh,
So the thing is,
a little inefficient in the morning.
the new Beatles song is not a great song in and of itself.
No, it's really not.
It's not it's not you listen to go, oh, that's a beautiful song. It's beautiful because it's the last recording by John Lennon that and that could be made.
Yeah, it's the last one ever.
The thing is, this song was actually supposed to be
Yeah.
released in the 90s as part of the anthology trilogy. There were 3 anthology album sets, and there were 3 anthology specials, documentary specials. And they were going to release a new song with each one. And so they did Free as a Bird, and then they did Real Love.
Those are both good songs, I thought.
But they recorded music and they did some work with the third one, which was Now and Then. But when they got done with it, George said it's garbage. That John's voice, they did not have the technology then, so that they were still recording with John's voice through a a microphone on a cassette. And they couldn't separate the piano playing. They couldn't separate his voice to enhance his voice, and they didn't have the technology.
Quality, yeah.
And so all 4 Beatles had to approve. So Yoko had approved already, but George said no, and Paul said, "All right, yeah, we're not going to fight about it. It's not good enough to put out with the Beatles name."
It was, yeah.
So they let it set.
It's sloppy.
But Peter Jackson's getting credit, but actually Peter Jackson shouldn't get credit. But when Peter Jackson was remaking the Let It Be and turned it into the Get Back, he hired a company at the cutting edge of technology, like he did when he made the Lord of the Ring movies to make the visual stuff. He hired a digital company to use the most modern technology, and they were able to extract John's voice off the tape, and then everybody keeps saying AI. They used AI. It's not AI. AI thinks for itself, works for itself, does everything itself. This is just advanced computer programming where they set the algorithm and then the computer works it. But they were able to not only take John's voice out of it, but enhance it to as if he were just singing on a microphone that minute.
And that's when I cried.
And so we've all heard the tape recorded version of Now and Then, John's demo of it. But they did a documentary they released yesterday morning, or no, it was Wednesday night. They released a documentary, and they played an excerpt of how they enhanced John's voice. And we, who have heard the demo and thought how bad his voice sounded on it, we cried. We both cried.
Yeah.
We were like, oh my God, it is so,
John's
that's John's
here.
voice.
Yeah.
So then they used the same technology to enhance
And
George.
it worked.
They used the same technology to enhance George Harrison's guitar playing, because George did a couple of dubs with his guitar, a rhythm guitar and a lead guitar, and then Paul did a rhythm guitar and the bass. But obviously George died 22 years ago, so they couldn't have George do anything new. So they took what he did and they enhanced it. And little known secret, his son Donnie came in and played a couple of riffs, because Donnie can imitate his father's guitar playing ability style, and they used that to enhance George Harrison's guitar and guitar solo. And then Paul and Ringo recorded all new bass and vocals, and then they took the old vocals from George and enhanced them, and the old backing vocals they did before, and they enhanced it. Obviously, this was a song John recorded and decided it wasn't good enough for his last album, the Double Fantasy album. And it wasn't even in good enough shape that he was recording it for a second album before he was murdered. But it's special because it does sound like the Beatles just recorded it. It's not a great song lyrically, musically. They did their best, and I'm sure George would have done some better stuff with it if he was still alive today. Yeah. But it's a pretty enough song, but it's the last Beatles song, because there's no other things in the can. You'll never get George to be able to play on it again. So it is the last. And the fact that it is a song about, I miss you now and then, you're missing, Paul and Ringo, missing John and George. Yeah. It's a powerful song in that regard. But no, it's not one of the all-time great Beatles songs. It's very mediocre at best. But it's a beautiful song for what it is. But it's also very melancholy and sad, because it is to all Beatle fans. There's nothing else out there hidden. There's nothing else that can be redone. George is dead, so you can't take anything he's done. This is the last thing they could do as a foursome, even if one of them was dead when they first started working on it, and a second one was dead when they finished working on it. Right.
So, and quite honestly, I didn't even know about it. So it was just kind of amazing that here's another one. They put it together and got it together. So,
and I'm hoping it goes number one somehow. That somehow it sells millions of copies and goes number one.
Just the joy in Beatles.
So the Beatles get one more number one. And didn't I see something that the Rolling Stones have a new album out, and it went number one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Stones have a new album out, and I haven't heard it yet.
Oh, I haven't heard anything from the Stones. Just agreeing that, the technology's available now.
I don't hate the Stones. I'm not a huge fan of the Stones, but I love a lot of their songs. I find they were a bit more formulaic than some bands, but I enjoy the Stones. There are certain times where, one of my favorite I still rank Pink Floyd and The Who above the Stones, and I probably rate the Kinks above the Stones, especially my favorite UK 60s bands. But I do like a lot of the Stone stuff, and I dislike a lot of it, but there's Beatles stuff I don't like.
Why do you have a DB Shanker car in your cargo?
Say what?
Why do you have the DB Shanker in your car?
It's a container, and that's a wagon that could hold a container.
Okay.
Some look at my trains and ask why. I look at my trains and ask why not.
Oh, indeed.
I didn't go into the Kennedy voice there.
Not quite, no. You didn't.
No, I didn't think about it. I knew I was quoting or misquoting Kennedy, but I didn't quite go there. I should have. My fellow Americans.
Yeah, you have to get your...
God, I haven't done. How long has it been since I've done
New
Kennedy?
England accent.
That's not what you can do for you, but what you can do for your country. That's not what your country can do for you, but what you can do and get away with. It is. I love how they're taking old 1930 movies that were probably filmed in 360 or 240, pixelization, and they can now make them high definition without it, even on a big screen TV, looking awkward. Because that happened when they did Star Wars. When they remade Star Wars, on the big movie screens, in the millimeter, it didn't look bad, but when they put it on Blu-rays, some of the little things they did with the special effects showed up. You know, you got little lines, and like, that line shouldn't be there.
Right.
All right, well, thank you, Rick, and if Pauline's listening in the background,
Yeah.
Pauline, thank you. And again, Rick, thank you very much for your help. I cannot express my gratitude enough. It may have been something easy for you to do or hard for you to do, but it put me on the right pace. I found the cars I wanted. From that site, they listed out the types of cars, and I was like, that's the set I would like, and was able to find 2 of the 3, but multiples of the 1. So good night and thank you.
Good night, Rick and Pauline.
So what are we doing for dinner tonight? Ha! I asked you. What am I ordering? What are you ordering? What are you going out and getting? What am I going out and getting?
Oh, yeah. Well, I know. You did a lot of
I'm in one of your moods.
You did a lot of work this week.
I did a lot of work. I'm not cooking.
Okay.
I don't ever cook on Fridays.
Yeah.
It's always order something or, we'll just eat this. Do we have enough to do just an ice cream dinner if you want to do something else?
156. Oh, we maybe can. I don't know if I want real food or not.
Well, it's up to you. I mean, we could do steak escape. I mean, we haven't done a Five Guys. Doesn't sound bad.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
Yeah,
Liz
but then there's
doesn't like
Liz.
it. I don't know.
Then again, I've eaten so much candy this week. Part of me wants to eat light, so I don't know.
Is ice cream light? Could just do sandwiches.
It's debatable.
You got lunch meat in there.
And
We
Dino,
can
who just
do
passed 1,000,
sandwiches.
is there anybody? Hey, is there anybody else in here who is close to you're at 295 and need to get to 300, or you're at 478, want to get to 500, or you're at, you're at a level, close to a level and we could get you over? Because I was at 1642 earlier today, and last week at this time I was at 1620.
Yeah, it's been a crazy week. They like the British. $4,000 penny too short.
$4,000 and a penny too short. 4,000 pennies too short.
Wow.
So next week's theme could be 218 week.
Gotcha.
I'm getting another 218. I could run them all. I could run all the 218s. I mean, I can run all the 218s. Would it fill up the lanes? I got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Two more to reach 50. I'm sick. Come on, guys. We can get
All right,
one
quick.
to 50.
A bunch of you run over and get Wolfsex over. That just sounds wrong. Wolfsec. I swear I said Wolfsex.
You might have.
Hey, go over to Wolfsex and give it a couple of likes. What, Wolfsex? I'm interested.
Hi, man.
Wolfsex Scenics. Get them over 50. But so
should be
do I
easy.
have 4 or 5 218s? Plus I have the variation of the 218, the 220, the 221. So that would be 5. Because I got the 2 Rocos, the blue and the red. I have the Märklin Cottbus AW version. I've got the ocean blue and cream beige version, and then I've got the red version of that. I think that's on my 218s. Then I've got the 221. So that's 6. I could almost do the whole... Almost do it all with 218s, but I've only got 5 218s. So then the 221 would be 6, because he's sort of like the
Cousin.
ugly brother that's locked in the closet.
Gotcha.
Because they're all descended from the...
It was like a furry convention.
Yeah, Wolfsec is Paul. Sounds like a furry convention. Indeed, Wolfsec. Or you can go see the innocent folk of
Little folk.
the innocent folks of Pittlemarsh in Somerset. We've gone quiet and we bored everybody away now.
I guess so.
The last few weeks have been rather energetic and crazy.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I had new trains the last couple of shows, and then last week, of course, I had the Flying Scotsman.
Uh-huh.
And this week, I had nothing new. And other than talking about the reaction to the Flying Scotsman, the only other thing I wanted to talk about was next week is my 5-year name anniversary.
Wow.
Actually, Thursday,
Oh,
the
we'll go
night.
out to dinner. It's an anniversary. Sorry.
Woohoo! Celebrating the
Like
5th anniversary.
Any excuse. Any excuse.
I was just talking about how we don't go out to eat anymore.
I know.
The sea flu kind of put a kibosh on that. But, yeah, so next week is November 9th, which is Thursday, is the official 5th anniversary. That was the date I changed the name of this channel to Model Train Outsider and released the first Model Train Outsider video. That's when I came up with the name. Actually, October 25th was the date. Now, I've been on YouTube since 2008.
You're getting close.
Well, we only got 26 people in here, but if you're not subscribed to Hi, go subscribe to Hi. Let's see if we can get them up to 500. But we are, but I want to do something special next week. I just can't decide what.
So something special's coming.
Maybe. Hopefully. Probably.
Maybe something's coming.
Might even be a surprise random giveaway to all people in stream.
Oh, what would you do?
Well, I did nothing. We've talked about what we would do.
Everybody?
Well, we'd pick one.
Oh, all right. You sound
No, hell, not everybody.
You sound like you were saying everybody.
No, everybody in the stream could participate.
Gotcha. All right, good.
I just won't do a public announcement. I just hope Tim's all right. Tim JD has not been here today. So maybe he went out with the family or something, I hope.
Who's there? Okay.
Tim.
Yeah.
Our buddy Tim.
Yeah. He's
Our beloved
here.
friend Tim.
Indeed.
Because I need to write an email and see if Greg's okay.
Yeah, does anybody know?
Oh, I don't have
I
any
don't
of the
think so.
Australians in today.
Yeah, I was just saying, you don't have anybody. Of course, their time is off, so...
Greg from Midsummer Rail.
Yeah, we haven't seen him anywhere.
But see, I didn't do any... You know, a lot of people do some sort of contest at 1,500 subs, and I didn't. I thought about it, and then I hit 1,500, and other things in life were happening so fast, I just didn't think about it.
Yeah, we've had a lot of insanity, indeed.
And so now at 1642, nobody ever celebrates 1642. Maybe that's what I'll celebrate. Of course, having said that, I'm probably down to 1639 or something.
Yeah, right.
I don't know how many subs do I have
Everybody
right
gets
now.
a box of DC wheels. And you get a box.
And you get a box. And you get a box. Yeah.
Oh, do a little Oprah here. That would be more fun if we didn't have to mail it. Oh.
You get free rides on my pet elephant. Unfortunately, you got to meet me in Thailand to get the ride.
2 to 600. Come on, guys. We can get everybody
Oh, see,
over
I'm down
to it.
one.
Oh!
I said 1642 earlier. Now I'm at 1641.
Oh, my God.
Well,
Somebody tuned into your live feed and said, I'm not
yeah, somebody tuned in live and
I'm
said,
not subscribing to this asshole. Yep.
somebody said, this dude. And so yeah, 1641 now. Whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody ever celebrates, you know, you'll see the 500s being celebrated, but nobody ever celebrates 1640. The other numbers deserve a fair representation. So I'm going to throw a 1600 and whatever I'm at on Friday celebration. Unless by some freak of nature I get up to 1700.
Hi says there's a letter coming your way with goodies.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, Andrew.
Joyce language.
This is sod. I called him. Said nobody wants to be up this asshole. So, oh, that's
Well,
nice.
get Clive, too. Clive needs 2 for 600. Come on, 2 of you in here that aren't subscribed to Clive. Get over there.
Yeah.
Subscribe to Clive. He's a great chap.
Indeed.
Watch him put an entire roof on his garage and shed by himself with no help.
Crazy indeed. In the summer heat.
And only cut his fingers a couple of times.
Yeah. Yeah, it was quite impressive. They got to 45 likes. Good job, bud. Good job, guys.
Well, according to this, look how many views I've had during the stream.
Yeah.
That's a massive number.
Are you kidding? Anthony would feed it a lot more than I would.
What would I feed?
Swear box.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I
It seems the bad YouTubers get all the subs. Are you taking that personally?
oh, there's, you know,
I assume you're talking about the guys with 100,000, not just 16.
no, I mean, the problem is you will hear people talk about it. YouTube will talk about it. They'll say, oh, if you want to get the massive numbers of stuff, there's this. You got to do this. You got to do this. Your videos have got to be like this. None of them account for,
That's
quote,
interesting,
the
Mally.
luck factor, where you catch you put out the right video at the right time,
That is
and
very
a
nice.
bunch of people share it, and all of a sudden, boom, you start growing.
Right.
Because there are channels out there that are 50, 60,000 subs, and what do?
Yeah, no different than the rest of you do.
They're no different than what the rest of you guys do.
They caught something.
There's no logic, and you can't feel good or bad about it. Well, you can feel good about it. But there are people who do much more amazing things and do more for the railway community than I ever will do, who have 400 subs, and I'm sitting here at 1,600 and some. And it freaked me out because a friend of mine, somebody I follow, who I've always seen as a big channel, and I realize I'm within 40 subs of them. And I've always saw them as so much bigger than me. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden I'm within 40 subs of them. Because
That's
literally,
crazy.
sadly, they haven't grown in 3 years.
Right.
And I've grown. But, you know, and the thing
Yeah,
is,
it's true. You're not going to slag off.
I crazily thought that maybe one of my parody songs that Joyce sings, and you're singing today and tomorrow.
Okay. All right, fine. Yeah, I'll do what I can. La 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 la.
I really thought
la,
at least
la,
one of them
la,
should get viral and get
la, la, la,
a few
la,
thousand
la,
views.
la,
I really thought within the
la,
train community.
la, 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 la.
You know, you all can decide which one you think would be the best bet. But, you know, I don't put them on Facebook, and I've been told, oh, you gotta go multimedia, you gotta put it on Instagram, you gotta put it on multi-platforms, and I don't do that.
Hey, Chesty Trains is here.
Chesty Trains, hello.
First time he could get live. It's because the time changed and it won't work next week.
Chesty Trains.
Nice to have you here. Yeah, you're a knight of
All
the
right,
Romboy
Chesty
table.
Trains runs. You run DC. You run European stuff, but DC. You run kind of like what I run, but DC, if I remember correctly. But beautiful stuff, great videos, great channel, everybody. And
Alright,
Martin at
good
Shedmouth Junction. And he did not come in. He said he was going to be here, but obviously things happen. Life happens.
Okay, so yes, Jesse agreed. So anyway, since you're new, we night everybody, and you could share your channel and encourage people nicely to subscribe to you, and you all could chase out the baddie. So it's a good deal.
And just to continue that thought, there's a lot of things you can do to gain subs and get viewers, you know, with thumbnails. There are tricks, things you can do that might increase viewers. But in the end, the people will stay because they like you and what you're doing,
Right.
or they won't stay.
Yeah,
And so, you know, the people who stay with me are usually, and again, I've got 1,600 viewers, but how many people come into my live streams and chat each week? 50 at most.
right.
How many people comment on my videos? 20 to 30. Those are the people that I consider my real subscribers.
That works better. Hi. Yeah, for sure. But I think personality has a lot to do with it.
Yep.
That people find you interesting and they like listening to you.
And there are people I'm friendly with and they talk to me on their channels, but I don't do on my channel what they would like to see. You know,
Right.
there are guys that they will talk to me, they will say things when I comment on their videos. Oh, it has to be great to see you. How are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. They will talk to me. But they will never come to live stream either because I'm too late for them or they don't even watch my videos because they want to see much more methodical, much more realistic stuff. That's what they're into. And no fault to them, no blame. I mean, now, obviously in my live streams, Joyce and I have tried a trick. We've tried a trick to
Okay.
get more people to live stream because we're the only live stream. Some live streams feature 2 boobs. There's a couple live streams that feature 4, but this is the only one that features 3.
Buddy. Wolfsack, did we get you to 50?
Artie and I have
Oh, that's cool, hi.
what's that? What's that? Hi said what?
49. Come on, guys, we can get him to 50. He said he built his own power section, which sniffs the DCC bus and will run DC
One off.
trains.
Come on, somebody in here, subscribe to Hi. He's a beautiful Dutch guy who does amazing electronics with us. He does a DC layout that he runs
Wolfsack
DCC.
to 50.
And we're trying to get Wolfsack to 50. Paul. Just call him Paul, because I keep
Trying to
saying
get
Wolfsex now.
Paul to Trying to
It's
get Paul to
Wolfsex
50.
Scenics, but I keep saying Wolfsex. I just keep
50 on
combining
your
it.
way to 100. It'll happen.
So if you're in here and you're not subscribed to Wolfsex, go in, click subscribe, watch 10 seconds of one video. People will tell you, oh, you got to watch a bunch of their videos. No, you don't. Oh, you have to watch their videos every so often. No, you don't. I'm subscribed to guys where I subscribed to them 6 years ago. They haven't posted a video in 4 years, and I'm still subscribed to them.
Right.
And I watched like 20 seconds of one video because they were a skateboard channel. And they said, hey, watch what I do.
Is it okay?
So let's get them up there. Let's get them up to 50. Let's get everybody up there. Everybody subscribe to everybody. In fact, here. Where is it? 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 All right, I got to lower this down for a second. Can I be the one? Can I be the one? Because I don't think I'm subscribed. See, I'm sitting here telling everybody else, but I don't think I'm subscribed.
52. Excellent.
Damn, somebody beat me. No, I'm not subscribed to him. Well, now I am.
No, 53. Woohoo! Woo! Subscriptions for everybody.
You'll get a subscription. Nice. But we're not doing cars. We can't afford that.
No cars.
Even if we did Hot Wheel cars.
I
I could give everybody in here a Charger Hot Wheel.
Oh, why would you want to give away your Chargers? It took you a while to collect those.
Andrew, I refuse to sub to anybody.
So that mean you're leaving, Alan?
Paul, you mean?
No.
Oh, who?
Lee. Does that mean
Lee.
you're
Good
leaving,
stream.
Lee?
Right, good stream.
or just giving positive affirmation.
Positive information.
It's good, it's good, it's good. We all love it. It's good.
Well, I don't know. Good stream. Maybe he's in the bathroom and things are working well. I don't know.
Ooh, Newland's at $6,599.
Oh,
Come on.
no. I see. I am subscribed to Clive. Come on,
somebody.
somebody in here. Get Clive to 600. Get Clive to 600.
YouTube's watching. You can't do this. Yes, you can.
You get an extra vegetable if you make it to
Love
600.
for everybody. Extra vegetable.
You get an extra. Yes, I am running a Czech Railjet, but I don't have a Czech Railjet Loco I can run with it. I do have a Czech Railjet Loco, but it doesn't.
You're writing.
It doesn't couple to these. This is the 4-pin. This is the 4-pin connectors, and it doesn't work with them. Actually, this one connects 4 pins. But
didn't you order a fix?
Yes, the fix is in the mail.
Fix is in the mail.
The fix is in the mail.
It's coming from somewhere in the UK, which
coming
means
from a shop in the UK.
it's going to take a while.
Nah. This will probably come over very quickly.
Well, that would be good.
But yeah, I have an Austrian Railjet and a Czech Railjet, except the Czech Railjet is being pulled by an Austrian locomotive. And,
Ooh,
you know,
check
I
it
never
again,
did the
Newland.
DB view.
600 for Newland. Woohoo!
All right, let's go 11 lane view quick.
601. Woohoo!
But if you watch my Czech Railjet here, the Czech Railjet, it's not pulling the control cab. It's not pulling the Steuerwagen. It doesn't have the Steuerwagen on it because if I connect the Steuerwagen, it shorts out my system because the locomotive and the Steuerwagen are flipped polarities, which I was warned could happen.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to fix it. That's pretty funny.
Andrew, you can share your own channel.
Share your channel, right. Just
For
go
goodness sakes, Andrew.
Go on it and
Share your channel. Oh, Tony Northeastern put up a video today.
Cool.
And Robert had mentioned he put up a new video. He's got a new video up. Peter at Transport Simulation Hub's got a new video up.
Oh my goodness.
And those are the ones Chadwick put
You know,
up a new
Anthony
video
watches all of them too. Ay, ay, ay.
Oh wait, he's right here. I can shortcut him.
Yeah, that's easy to do, Randall. That's why Anthony just went to his subscriptions. All right, clicks on him. Am I subscribed? Oh, I think I am.
Everybody beats me to it by the time I get
It's a subscription palooza. Well, you are kind of busy right now.
Doing what? Sitting on my ass watching trains go around. I'm not that busy.
No, you're entertaining people.
Am I? Am I?
I think you are.
Am I entertaining you? See? If my own wife can't admit to it.
Oh, buddy, I'm tired.
I would try to make you...
I'm tired.
Oh, God. Blazing saddles.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
I
That's
forget
what everything below the waist is kaput.
Kaput. Yeah.
Kaput.
I don't remember.
I'm tired.
I'm tired.
So tired of being admired. Isn't it a freaking shame?
Oh, man.
I said I try to make you laugh, but I have to keep my clothes on.
It out. Buddy.
Yes, High's new series of how to rip the roofs off buildings, how to put in new darkening bits if you need to, and then put the roofs back on while the building is now lit.
Yeah.
The first video, I think it was video 1, he went to take a roof off a house and snapped the roof right in half. Oops, that will need some glue.
Randall, you're putting somebody who isn't even here up. What the heck?
He's putting that's his club.
Oh, it's your club.
Yes.
All right, that's all
And
right.
besides, I tell them they can link other channels that they think are
You're
great.
right. Link anybody you want. Go ahead.
I said, as long as it's
I've
not
been whacked
political.
with the cleaning rag. That's not very clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you were going to, what are your thoughts on the Roco universal coupling, if you have any thoughts on the Roco
I haven't
universal
run
coupling?
into them yet, so I'd have to get one.
So nope, he has no thoughts on them.
Randall, I absolutely concur.
Oh, the first time I read that, I read it
But
as,
I would get more views than ever before.
I thought that said it would be a bold idea. Like, well, yeah, that it would be.
Model Train Guy does live stream nude.
Only from the waist up. Weirdly, so was his wife. What? No! It's like we're all family, indeed. Fitterton would watch.
Da 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 da. Do that Monty Python bit.
Yeah.
It's a man's life
If it's
stripping
a
in
man's
public.
life, stripping in public. You were at 40.
What? That's enough, Hudson.
You're at 48 likes. Days is gonna say, if you haven't hit the like button, it'd be nice to get Anthony to 50.
Daisy.
Daisy. So anyway, feel the love, feel the love, feel the love.
I bought a figure to become Daisy. I
Gotcha. That's okay.
I bought an HO because I'm building the Big Gulch.
Ooh,
I'm building the Big Gulch diorama. So I bought a Prizer figure to be Daisy, and it comes in, and Joyce is like, "That's not Daisy." I said, "I haven't painted it yet." She says, "But she's got a dress on." I said, "Yeah, because Daisy wears a dress." And Joyce, I'm like, "What Daisy are you thinking of, Joyce?" Because there are two.
Yeah, there
Daisy
are.
wears two outfits. There's her normal little deer hide suede dress that she
Right.
normally wears, and then there's the all black leather gunsling. You know, that's always called
the cat
gunslinger
suit,
mode in
yeah.
the show. Not a cat suit.
Not a cat suit,
It's not a cat suit. It's leather.
leather pants, and all right.
Yeah, you just need the holster.
Yeah, probably.
No secrets anymore, dear.
Uh,
But she's got the leather
ooh,
coat.
oyster club
She's got the
reading. I
leather
like
coat.
that.
She's got the leather coat, the black shirt, blouse, whatever it is, the leather pants, and then the holster with the guns. That's gunslinger mode, but she only wears that on special occasions.
It's true.
And I do have to find,
Da-da-da-da.
I do have to find a figure I can do that.
Da-da-da-da. Oyster Godzilla. Said Blue Oyster Club music. I went for
Blue
Blue
Oyster-
Oyster Cult. I was doing Godzilla. Godzilla. Bet you
History
get
shows
Joyce to
again
talk
and
like that all
again.
the time around the house?
History shows again and again
plead
how
the
nature
fifth.
points out the folly of man. Godzilla.
Godzilla.
Hey, John Dawson, long
Hi,
time no
John
see.
Dawson.
Welcome in.
Indeed. Good afternoon. Where's John?
He is in Canada, Toronto, or just outside of Toronto. I forget if he's Hamilton or is in fact
Okay,
in
that
Toronto.
feels kind of evening to me, but all right.
No, he used to be around a while, but
Yeah.
he's not on YouTube as much as he used to be.
Gotcha.
Oh, there's his life story again. But very nice man.
Niagara
Oh, no, he is
Falls.
in Niagara Falls. That's right. You are in Niagara
Oh,
Falls.
wow,
We
we've
always
been-
talk about Niagara Falls, but
We have been to Niagara Falls, Ontario
He
a
knows.
lot.
you know,
Yeah, you know.
we haven't been there in years.
Okay,
The thing is, we got to go to Niagara Falls again
before.
because they've got a big model train thing there, and they also
Oh.
have one in Toronto. So we could
Okay, I'm game.
like maybe over spring break or something like that, we could go up and go to Niagara Falls
Sure, that'll be fun.
and hit both go to Toronto for the first time
Ooh.
and go to that. We could do a couple of things. We could go to mini prints and get ourselves 3D casted.
He's making big plans.
And then there's also a big
Cool, John.
Canada Railways miniature Wonderland like thing in Toronto.
Ah, okay.
So we could do a model train thing.
Gotcha. So cool. Sounds like a little more than spring break, though.
Well, we could do it for a week, you know. I mean, we could do it for 4 days. You know, you go up to stay in Niagara Falls on one of those days instead of going down to the falls again, drive up to Toronto. What's it going to take? An hour?
Yeah, probably. You help with your on 30 layout.
That's
And-
030.
Oh, 30?
Yeah.
Okay.
Narrow gauge, O30. So it's
Wow,
O
gotcha.
scale. It's O scale,
Gotcha.
and there are 2 or 3 different variations of narrow gauge in O scale.
Gotcha.
And I forget if ON30 is on the same track as HO.
Mm-hmm.
Which one that is?
Yeah.
Because one of them is on HO.
Gotcha.
Just like HO narrow gauge is on the same gauge track as N scale.
That makes sense.
But narrow gauge is an actual thing in reality.
Right.
You
Yeah,
have-
it is. I know it is. I forget the conditions for narrow gauge.
Well, you don't
think
have a
there
lot of
was.
room or like in
Yeah.
mines and so forth, so they narrow the
okay.
track size down.
Yeah, okay.
Yay! Hooray
HO
for my
scale.
memory, I remember.
Okay.
Could I do a train parody song to Godzilla?
Wow.
I could do Tammy and Ray's layout because she built a layout with Godzilla on it.
That's true.
And Jet Jaguar and Rodan and Gamera.
Yeah.
She put all of them on.
She did. It's going to be a monster palooza on hers.
I think it's awesome. She's got one that's like fantasy sci-fi kingdom,
Yeah, right.
one of the islands
Yeah.
or peninsulas, I should say, on their layout. And then the other one she did a Japanese Godzilla theme.
Okay.
I thought that's awesome. So they got a main line
Yeah,
that just
she's-
looks like a normal,
She's very creative indeed.
brilliantly creative.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything there. I
Yeah.
think that's awesome.
Oh, it's 5:58.
She should charge money.
Yeah. It's good.
You're right. It is 5:58.
Because you woke up in between a memory and a dream. Hey, just in time for us to sing.
I woke up in between a memory and a dream. Tom Petty.
What song?
You don't know what it's like?
Oh, okay. Oh, I did it two-handed. Didn't get it quite right, though.
Oh. Oops.
That's good.
Oops. Oops. Oops.
Okay, that's just going to stay there.
But we
Legs protecting
Yeah.
it.
so let's roll. So let's get
Cool.
to the point. Let's roll another joint. Turn the radio loud. I'm too lost to be proud. You don't know how it feels. You don't know how it feels.
Yeah.
You don't know how it feels.
It's a good song indeed.
To be me.
To be me.
All right. Well, anyhow, it is that time once again. Friday has come,
It
and for many
is.
people, it's already gone. But
Yeah, right.
for us, our time, it's dinner time. It's munchy time. It's
that time.
and the hangry time. It's that time for us to bid everyone farewell and everything. But once again, on behalf of myself, on behalf of the band and ourselves,
We hope we passed the audition.
yep. But I've got blisters on my. Actually, you've got blisters on your fingers.
I've got blisters on my fingers.
But anyhow, having said all that, we want to thank everybody who spends even a little part of their evening here with
for
us.
sure we do. We sure do.
We're always appreciative, always amazed, and always very thrilled to see how many people join with us. And
Yep.
wow, the number of views that this video, that's a pretty good sized chunk
Nice.
before it's over yet. So, enough babbling and rabbling and bantering
Yeah, the
and
weekend's begun.
sauntering and all that. I'm going to say, on behalf of myself and the band, Auf Wiedersehen
Choose.
and happy trains. Take care, everybody.
Bye.